6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports in the Main Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. In Buffalo, quarterback Josh Allen gets a top wide receiver target in Bills offense as Buffalo made a big trade yesterday with the Bears for wide receiver G.J. Moore and a 2026 fifth-round pick in exchange for a 2026 second-round pick. In other NFL news, speaking of Chicago, the Bears officially are releasing linebacker Tremaine Edmunds. Between the D.J. Moore trade and Edmunds' release, the Bears now have $44 million in new cap space this week. Also, 8-time Pro Bowl defensive end Cameron Jordan, who spent his entire 15-year career with the New Orleans Saints and had 10.5 sacks this past season, will not have a new deal in place with New Orleans by next week. He will hit free agency for the first time in his NFL career. And the Texans, they're giving 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Danielle Hunter a 1-year, $40 million extension that includes $30.7 million signing bonus. And the Titans, they made a couple transactions yesterday, signing exclusive rights free agents in guard Garrett Dellinger and defensive lineman C.J. Ravenel. The Nashville Predators had their fourth trade in 3 days as they're sending forward Michael Bunting to the Dallas Stars in exchange for a 2026 third-round draft pick. The NHL trade deadline is coming up today at 2 p.m. Central Time. And last night, the Preds had a big 6-3 win over the Boston Bruins at Bridgestone Arena. Matthew Wood scored twice, and Philip Forsberg had a goal and 2 assists on the night. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, new home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the final show of the week and into the intro to your Friday in beautiful Music City. Welcome into Ramon and Will, 615-737-1045. How you talk with us. F&M Bank Chat on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, 1045 The Zone TV. How you stream us at the 1045 The Zone app, wherever you go as well. More NFL headlines to break down this morning as we head into the weekend. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joins us as always at 7:20. We bring back a segment that you guys liked last year in NFL draft time. It's like speed dating for the draft. We're going to call it speed scouting, where I give you 3 draft eligible edge rushers and then give you some NFL veterans as well. We'll compare the blind resumes. Ron Slate will be here as always at 9:20 on this Friday morning, March the 6th. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, and Will Bowling. Good morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
We're good, man. Good morning, Will. How are you? Everything's good?
Great.
Awesome. Going pretty good my way. Hawk asked me about my shirt this morning. I got the birds on, and he said, "Is it because of car?" I was like, "No, it's because of the birds around my house." Have I told you about what's going on? I told you off air. I didn't. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no. Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I told you about it. I got a bird problem in the worst way. It's not the mockingbird state birds. It's the sparrows around my house. So the wife and I have black vehicles. Fine. I mean, whichever color vehicle it is at this point, I think it would attack it. Okay? So it's funny that it's only attacking hers mainly. And whenever, like, I come back yesterday, it got mine as well. So I hadn't driven my truck none this week. And what's crazy about these birds are they are attacking the mirrors, the window, and the paint. Like, if you go up to my window or her window, you'll see all these scratches. It's poop everywhere around it. I've washed the vehicles 3 times this week, like going through the automatic, like washer or whatever, just trying to see how often they're coming. It's every single day. My cameras can't catch them. So at some point, I'm going to stake outside and find me a net, okay? I got to figure out the legality of what can happen to those birds. But I'm telling you this, it is a problem. I've bought the owl with the swivel head. Doesn't work.
Wow.
I've bought a hawk, like plastic head thing. Doesn't work. I've got outside of the vehicles, okay, motion sensors that will flash and make a noise, and it doesn't work. Will, Next thing I'm going to go get is one of those. I have one of those also. It's like a spinning, shining thing I can put in the ground, and it makes like a gun sound as well.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to do that.
And your neighbors are going to be calling you.
My neighbors are going to be livid. But these birds are ridiculous right now.
That's weird. What's like the opposite? Yeah, these are like the opposites of bird feeders.
I put the fake owl out already. Somebody put a fake. I put the fake owl out. It's unbothered. They are unbothered by the fake owl on both sides. Like I got a hawk on one side, and I got the fake owl on the other side. And these sparrows, I looked them up. They do not care at all. It is by far. You can walk outside, look at my mirror. It is so much poop on it. It is like scratching at the windows and like on the mirror. I think it's fighting itself, but it's fighting itself every single day. It's every single day. It is wild.
I've never heard of this happening.
Me either.
Yeah.
And it just started, like, it happened a little bit late last summer, but like this, like earlier part of the season, it has been going bananas, man. So yeah, I gotta figure out what's going on. I told Jayhawk, I said, I wore this shirt in remembrance of the birds if I ever catch them around my house this morning, man. Yeah. So it is insane. I've never heard of this before.
I think you're onto something when you're talking about their reflection and they see themselves.
Yeah.
They're fighting themselves. A quick Google search says to cover your windows so they cannot see themselves, and then like maybe have just a full-on car cover and just eliminate that period.
That's so tedious.
Why do I have to do that?
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, so
they're the captain now.
You said you had a pellet gun.
The bird is the captain now.
You could go hunting.
I
take out a window in your next door neighbor.
No, he said there was one on the house the other day.
It was one on the house the other day. I thought about like getting something and taking a shot at it. I'm so serious, like a pellet gun. But I put towels on her mirrors before. Came back, they knocked the towels down.
Oh my God!
I've tried what you're suggesting. So I have that. Where's the owl? I thought we had an owl in the studio. But I thought that little thing was an owl up there. But I've done every single thing I possibly could right now except for eliminate them at this point.
A couple comments to the F and Bank chat. The experts have spoken. It's ratchet, but put plastic bags on your mirrors, Devin says.
Okay.
Let's see. John writes in and says, get a working cat.
There's one around my house. Remember, I told you the other day. I don't have a working one.
Not a relaxing cat, a working cat.
A working cat.
Does it work for minimum wage? Or like, what are we
let's see. What else? Cat food and taking care of cats with shots, that's more than minimum wage. Right. Rayman says, what you need, Moan, is a whole bald eagle in the driveway.
I'd love to have
If you could rent a bald eagle, you probably would have already done that, so we can knock that off the list.
Straight up.
Yeah, comment says, the birds have it out for you. That's clearly the case. Sparrows have evolved. I have sparrow gang fight on my roof 2 times a day. Every day, William says. Okay, wow.
See, William?
We need to have a sit down with the sparrow community and understand what's got them so upset.
I don't know what's going on. And I've set up camp behind her truck just to see. Like, I'm sitting on a bucket behind a vehicle in the corner of my driveway, watching it, trying to figure it out. And as soon as I go out there, of course, they don't show up.
You're like a dad with a daughter at prom coming back, just sitting on the porch with the shotguns the way you're watching these sparrows.
I'm close. Just so you know.
To have her home by 10.
I'm close.
What's your intentions with my daughter?
That's right. What are your intentions with my truck?
Listen, Mike, just go outside and just call.
That'll do it. Yeah,
that'll do it. Keisha told me, she's like, whatever I do, I have to go out early morning, which I can't because we're doing here. So Saturday mornings, man, just hit me up tomorrow. I might be staked outside of my house just watching.
You're just going to be doing this the whole time?
Call!
So if you missed it yesterday and don't get that joke, a caller called in and was only referring to Cam Ward as Cameron Anthony Ward. And Ramon, of course, his brain went to, you should have just said call. Instead of always saying Cameron Anthony Ward. So that's why call has become a thing on this show.
He said, okay, Greg said, Ginger said they think it's mating season. Well, I'm trying to find
It's a long mating season.
It's a very long mating season.
How do we get them out of that for your trucks?
I don't know, but it better figure something out.
Pour cold water on the sparrows?
No longer mating season? I'm messing with it.
I don't know.
No, I'm messing with it. Whatever it takes at this point, Will, is what I'm telling you. When I should post the abuse my mirrors have gotten.
Big Kahuna King says on YouTube, find out its natural predator and then play that sound outside. Like, are there owls that make noises?
There are, yeah.
A lot of bird noises on the show the past 2 days.
I bought 3 devices that make noise around the house, and like I could go to like a wild animal sound. Like there's a wildcat sound on one of these devices I have.
Sounds like you're at a Kentucky football game.
Seriously, when I heard
third down.
it's gonna start making a gun sound, and I think I can make it because I think I can have it make that sound because I'm right past the county line. Right past the city limits, yes.
Actually, domestic cats are a predator for sparrows.
Get out.
Get you a domestic cat.
I'm not even a cat guy.
Just have a Kentucky fan sit out there in a Wildcat shirt.
Hey, you want to borrow mine?
You got.
They won't be busy deep into March anyway, Ramon. So they're not going to be watching Kentucky basketball past maybe the first 2 games of the tournament.
This is also
you have plenty
true.
of Kentucky fans. They'll be very free to just sit there and just you know what? This sounds like a question for Brent Hubbs coming up at 7:20. Is what this sounds like.
Thank you. Yes. I guarantee you he's got an answer for
100%. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already listening and thinking of solutions.
I'm not buying a car cover, though. That's just out of line.
Yeah, right. Because at that point, they've won. You can't let them win.
And that's the part that's
Can't
really
let the Sparrows
bothering me. I can't let the Sparrows win.
615-737-1045 is our number. Live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. NFL headlines this morning. The Bills bring in a declining wide receiver. A defensive end, I think, could be a fit for the Titans, and much, much more after this. Ramon Will at 104.5 The Zone, and hour number one on your Friday morning. Welcome in. You can hop in the F&M Bank chat, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Bills and Bears, Ramon, the latest teams to make a blockbuster trade in the National Football League. As the Buffalo Bills get a receiver for Josh Allen, the Chicago Bears get coveted cap space in their pursuit of Max Crosby. Buffalo sending a 2026 second-round pick to Chicago in exchange for wide receiver DJ Moore and a 2026 fifth-round pick. The Bills will be guaranteeing $15.5 million of Moore's $23.5 million base salary in 2028. According to agents Drew Rosenhaus and Robert Bailey to Adam Schefter, DJ Moore's $23.5 million base salary in 2026 is fully guaranteed, and his 2027 base salary, also $23.5 million, becomes fully guaranteed next week. DJ Moore turns 29 on April 14th and is reunited with his former OC who was fired in Carolina, Joe Brady, who is now his head coach in Buffalo. What do you think of the trade?
What is the price of a Super Bowl count, man? That's all I was looking at with this deal going through. The second round draft pick, okay, that's fine. That Chicago gets back. But they also had to send a fifth with him as well. That also shows the value in itself that you also had to send a pick with the selection as well. They're desperate is what I would say. Looking at what New England's done, and I'm going Buffalo for that matter, to guarantee a contract of pretty much $24 million, $23.5 million accurately reported for a wide receiver that is, I don't know, watching him work in this offense. He was on a team that had numerous amounts of talent at the wide receiver position. Is he a playmaker? Absolutely. But it just shows more to me the desperation of the Buffalo Bills. Usually when teams make these type of pushes, it don't work as well as they think it do, especially when there's money attached to it. I'm looking at Pittsburgh and DK Metcalf. Like, it usually doesn't work out in your favor when you show your desperation that much. And I always got to ask the question, well, why can't they find talent at wide receiver instead of overpaying for a guy that's probably on the back end of his career when it boils down to what the commitment is? And not just that, they can't get consistently the Patriots. Like, I will say this, the one caveat I think, or the one grace that the Bills have is you don't know what Kansas City is going to do, which has been their kryptonite. But in comes Denver.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think the Bills overpaid. And we do have a center signing, by the way, but that just happened. I'll tell you about it in about 5 seconds. Not the Titans.
I'll wait.
But, overpaid. Second-round picks, very rich for a player that, I don't know. I mean, Daniel Jeremiah tweeted yesterday, NFL Network draft analyst, the meat of this draft is between picks 45 to 75. Well, what's stopping you from going and taking one of those picks and taking a wide receiver? Says that the receiver you're going to get at 75 is going to have a nearly identical grade to the receiver you take at 45. I'm not sure they could have found DJ Moore production in the second round, Ramon, or in the first round, to be quite honest with you. Now, box score scouting is what it is. It's box score scouting, and the numbers don't tell the full story on DJ Moore, who went down from 140 targets to 85 targets this past season, 98 receptions down to 50 catches, 966 yards down to 682 yards, still had 6 touchdowns, had way more yards per reception than he did in 2024, had 13.6. It's weird because he became their fourth pass-catching option in terms of target share. Colston Loveland, the rookie tight end, came on really strong late. Rome Odunze, the second-year player from Washington, had a lot of opportunities. Then the rookie Luther Burden. So on one hand, yes, DJ Moore is declining. And I worry about that with wide receivers when they fall off a cliff in terms of production like that, going from nearly 1,000 yards to nearly 700 yards. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Looking at the why, obviously, you could make the argument that, well, he's still open. He's still working for his team. They just moved on. But then the question becomes, why did they feel like they had to move on? Why did they have to go get Luther Burden? Could he not outplay and outpractice and outperform those guys within the framework of the offense? I think it makes a ton of sense for the Bears. I think it's a great trade for the Bears.
It is for them.
Because they can go just replace him. And like I said, using now an extra second-round pick to go find the next pass catcher. But as much as they started to live in 12 personnel last season and rely more on the tight end, their receivers 1, 2, and 3 are Odunze, Burden, and Loveland in no particular order.
No doubt about it. They have weapons. They have stars. They have a running game as well and an offensive line that's built. They feel better about themselves, the Bears, about replacing his talent more than probably the Buffalo Bills are desperate for a guy like him too. We'll always look at stats, especially when it comes down to how we magnify guys as far as being superstars. Like if you tell me DJ Moore is or was one of the top-rated wide receivers, the other part that has to relate to that as well is what is your record? Because on bad teams, we found this out as well. There has got to be one playmaker. And I'm not minimizing DJ Moore's career when it boils down to what he did in Carolina or other places as well. But I say to myself, like the best years that he had was probably this past year with Chicago. And to your point, he got wide receiver 2 numbers. Now, that is a very loaded room of talent. You mentioned Rome. You mentioned, what's his name?
Colston Loveland and Luther Burden are the other two.
Burden. Yeah. The running backs, the running game, the threat of course, Caleb Williams, the defense on top of it as well. And he was a nice piece of what the sum of how good they were this year. So I went back and just said, why did DJ Moore get traded? Why was he the guy? You know what I'm saying? As far as like the value whenever he ended up going to when he ended up leaving Carolina. Will, his best years, Carolina's records were 5. I'm going to go to them real quick. 5-11.
They had a sneaky good receiver room, though.
Yes.
And he was a part of it.
He was a part of it, but you only won 5 games.
Yeah, right.
2019, 5-11. 2020, 5-11 as well. He had over 1,100 yards again. 2021, 5-11. He had over 1,100 yards again. What I'm getting at is this. He can be the focal point of your team is bad. Right? When it comes down to you paying for those amount of yards. I've always thought that as well. Like, yeah, you're a baller, but the ball's got to go to somebody. The question that Buffalo's going to have to figure out as well is, can he make them better while being the primary target? Or do you still have to go get more weapons around him because you paid him as if he was the son? Yeah, and that's the issue that Buffalo's going to have to deal with, considering they also gave up the second-round pick.
I think it's Brandon Beane getting a little emotional about the receiver situation last year. He overcorrected.
Can't operate like this.
And I think 2 things are happening. one, you are wary of the impact of the Keon Coleman draft pick that you made when you went receiver around the spot that you'd probably address it this year. Hasn't worked out. So now you're doing a different type of wide receiver fix, trade instead of draft. And I think the other thing is, he had that blow up right before the season last year, Ramon, where he was asked about the receiver position, and he kind of clapped back and got a little spicy with radio hosts in Buffalo talking about well, we're fine. What do you mean? And so I think this is him saying, all right, here, damn, wide receiver. Well, brother, we weren't asking for a second-round pick for a guy that didn't have 700 yards last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think you could have used that pick to find someone that could be there for 5 years instead of maybe 2 or 3. But the familiarity with Joe Brady, maybe that matters. I'm a little down on Buffalo. The more I kind of looked into Joe Brady last year when the Titans got their opening, I'm not sure he's head coach material, Ramon.
You see him, and this is just the optics of it as well. He was super excited about the stadium reveal yesterday. They released a video of him walking into the stadium, and he just looked like he's happy to be on the job. Joe Brady, that is, which is fine. I get it. But when you look at the position that he's in, the stadium's a part of it as well. But he was just like, this place is going to be rocking. It might. It might be rocking if you figure out a way how to win football games. Yeah. But when you look at just Buffalo in general, they've gone through hell when it comes down to sports optimism, in numerous eras. And you know what Brandon Beane is showing us, and it's just a cautionary tale too, as to how strategic you have to be about finding the right fit for your team. It's hard being good. And then there's even more pressure when you got a franchise quarterback as well, because now, to your point, as far as panicking, the expectation, especially when somebody directly in your division and with the New England Patriots win and go to the Super Bowl, it's hard being good. And now he's backed into a corner trying to figure this out. Like, I know teams hate being bad, but I honestly think staying relevant and on top of it when you got no excuse because you got a franchise quarterback is probably a worse job, to be quite honest with you.
Sorry, say that again. What do you mean?
Being on top and having a franchise quarterback and having expectations is probably a worse job to manage based on the fact that you got to figure out a way to go get the Super Bowl. Yeah. I think when you're bad, the expectation of building it back up, nobody pays attention as much. Look how
this was the argument I made this year when I said Brian Dable may choose the Titans over the Eagles.
This is very true.
This is the same exact situation to say that for some coaches, they'd prefer to build it up from the studs and not have the pressure or the expectations versus step in right away. And not all coaches are wired that way because coaches are respectfully psychopaths, but and usually narcissists. But yeah, no, that's true.
But
that's
maintaining it is what I'm saying. Like, okay, real quick off topic. Like, look at how we are as Vols fans judging what the Lady Vols brand is. It's hard to keep it up.
Not for everyone.
It's not for everybody.
Expectations aren't for everyone.
And that's what Buffalo and Brandon Beane are going through right now.
Yeah. So Butch Jones got fired at Tennessee. Expectations were way too high for him.
Yeah, and then when
he wanted a champion 8-4, and you don't get to do that.
You don't get to do that
when you go 4-8 the next year.
No doubt about it.
Ian Rappaport reports this morning that the Los Angeles Chargers are signing center Tyler Biadasz to a 3-year deal worth $30 million. He was cut by the Commanders after being set to make $8.3 million. The rare situation where someone gets cut and then gets a raise. Doesn't happen very much.
No, it doesn't.
You got to be in a bad cap situation or just really not want a player to play for you to cut them and then they get more money. I remember that happened to Adoree Jackson here. Adoree Jackson got cut here. Then the Giants paid him more money to play for them, which was always interesting. Mike Garafolo, adding context, says he visited the Bears, had more meetings with teams on the docket, but takes a really good deal with the Chargers after being released recently. So there you go. There's one center-needy team that gets their guy, and there are plenty of center-needy teams left and not a lot of veteran centers who have started football games, Ramon. There's about 3 of them left now between Tyler Linderbaum, Cade Mays, and Connor McGovern.
Gotta be. You talk about league of tampering. You need to be doing it right now, okay? Like, Cade Mays' price just went up. Connor McGovern price just went up. I mean, we know their prices are going to be good, but to your point, finding a center is, to me, is equally as important as finding a star wide receiver. You got to have somebody up the middle that can man the middle and understand how to keep everybody settled. Like, having played with a really good one in my career, Marquise Pouncey, like, I realized the amount of pressure is put on that job. You're the director for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it takes when you got a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert as well, is you got to try to solidify that line as much as you possibly can.
Ravens need one, Bills need one, Bears need one, Titans need one. I mean, Panthers probably will too with Cade Mays leaving, so going to be interesting. You would guess that a couple of those teams with older quarterbacks they trust to put more pressure responsibility on probably settle for a rookie to come in, and the teams that are in more cap hell out of those also will need to go to a rookie because you can find a starting center on days 2 and 3 of the NFL draft.
No doubt.
I don't see the Titans as wanting to take that gamble with a second-year quarterback learning a new system again. There needs to be something that takes responsibility off Cam Ward's plate. It is critical that they find a veteran center to come in and start right away.
Yes, it is.
Critical.
Tyler Biadasz being off, I think that's how you say it. Biadasz.
Yep.
Him being off the market really, I think, muddies the waters. It pretty much, you got to speed this up a little bit more when it comes down to if you got to choose between a wide receiver and the center. That's, to me, I think the biggest question that the Titans are going to be faced with.
But you don't have to choose between them.
I know that
you got so much money.
This is true. But if you're going to be doing a lot of secondary shopping, like, there's still got to be good money left over on top of paying for the fourth overall pick as well.
If you're gonna splash the cash for one thing, it probably needs to be center.
I wonder what tier of each they're going to buy into when it boils down to, are you going for Tyler Linderbaum or are you going for Cade? And in the middle is Connor McGovern. I do wonder how this is going to unfold because I look at these situations as far as negotiating. The powers is really in the center's hands right now.
Yeah, I mean, there is there's a possibility that even Connor McGovern costs you $20 million a year in terms of average annual value. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, considering the teams that are shopping in the center market this offseason. It's a ton of money for a center.
Can I ask you a football fan question?
Of course.
When did you pay attention to how good or bad offensive lines were? Because, only reason I ask that is, in 2009 when I came into the league, the interior offensive line was, I'll be quite honest with you, I felt like more throwaway players. Oh, we'll just find one. Or we'll just get one. If you had a good center, we'll just find one. You knew of some of the guys that were playing good, but it wasn't I don't think a Connor McGovern would have been in a position to say he's going to command top market for.
Yeah.
His starting position.
Sure.
You just find another,
I'll tell you when I started to notice it was at the transition of the Derek Dooley to Butch Jones era, when Derek Dooley did not sign a single offensive lineman in his tenure as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. Okay. And we lived the consequences of that.
Sure did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
That's when I really noticed it. But in all seriousness, though, and you aren't included in this, I would notice on Sunday Night Football when they would do starting lineups how many Tennessee guys there were, yourself included, where literally you would say Ramon Foster, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, cool. We got a lot of Tennessee linemen. That's great. O-line you.
We were. Hopefully we get back to it. Iowa, I think, probably got it right now. Heck, at this point.
Alabama.
Penn State.
Alabama guys get them to the league. Oftentimes they don't end up being great.
Very true, too.
They'll get them to the league. And Georgia would be the other one for sure.
Yeah, I see
Ohio State, too.
Daquan says shouldn't have cut Cushenberry.
No, I think that move makes a lot of sense. They're going to get somebody.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised to see them put a rookie in at center.
I would, too,
They're going to get somebody. I don't think it was the wrong move to cut Cushenberry. I think it was – we've been talking about it for months. I thought that made a lot of sense considering – the challenges he had this past season coming off the torn Achilles. He allowed 6 sacks, Ramon.
That's what I was going to say.
Tyler Linderbaum has allowed 5 sacks in 4 seasons as an NFL center. It was critical for you to upgrade there moving forward into next season.
And here's the more of a story behind that as well. For a center to be put in a position where he's in one-on-ones and he can't hold anchor, and you give up that many sacks,
it was a problem. It was a problem last year at center.
Teams usually don't pick on the center as much. They'll put guys in the gap and try to force themselves in, and usually most centers can handle their own, Will. That's the other part.
We can't – we got to keep our powder dry here. Free agency hasn't even started yet. This was the only player who you could have even signed because he got released.
Yeah.
So we can't drop out of the race yet. The starting gun hasn't even gone off.
No.
So – it's not the wrong decision yet. Now, if they sit here and they miss out on Mays, McGovern, and Linderbaum, all right, maybe we have a different discussion. And still, you could probably just go draft a center or trade for one. There are a lot of different ways to address this, but let's be patient before we say they made the wrong decision on cutting Lloyd Cushenberry.
That's what I was thinking. Just a little bit of panic jumped in right there. And that is all right, but this is what free agency in the offseason is all about as well. And here's the other part too, Will. I know we mentioned you can't put a young guy at center. Screw it if you have to. That just means you might have to go pay for a guard. Or, nope, I'm not even going to mention JC. You might have to go pay for a guard and try to find some veteran presence there as well. Now,
Jackson Slater probably feels like the emergency option.
Yeah. And now back to your point about Kevin Zeitler. Then we can start having, in my personal base, then I have the conversation, if you strike out on the center, go get Zeitler back.
I still think you bring Zeitler back either way, just partly for continuity for J.C. Latham.
Gotcha.
So he's playing next to the same guy for 2 straight years.
That's true, too. That'd be
which has not happened in a long time. Yeah.
That'd be 3 straight years of change.
Elsewhere, the NFL yesterday, Cam Jordan is set to become a free agent when the new league year begins next week. I know we're linking a lot of defensive ends to the Titans, but in terms of player profile, leadership, production, I feel like this actually checks a lot of boxes for the Titans. Cam Jordan, 36 years old, has played 15 seasons, became the Saints franchise sack leader at the end of the 2022 season. He has 132 career sacks. The Saints will absorb $18.76 million in dead money against their 2026 salary cap. was selected by the Saints in the first round of the 2011 draft. He's durable. Still even at 36. He started 242 of 243 possible games in 15 years with the Saints, missing only one game because of injury in his career after fracturing his orbital bone in 2022, which is what you'll remember Anthony Richardson had going on. Ramon, what was it like playing against Cam Jordan?
Hell, okay.
Sounds like it still is, considering how many sacks he had last year.
He is.
10.5 last year.
He had 10.5 last year. Yeah. I know he was over 100. I didn't know he was well over 100 sacks. Like, that's Hall of Fame status if you didn't know. And I know you know that. But it's nonstop. He's a heavy-footed speed guy. Like, it's one thing to just be a musher up the middle, like, rah, 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 like the Bash Brothers. But he's a dude that is a Bash Brother on top of having speed, on top of having a drive, on top of having a motor each and every time I've been out there on the field with him. And, well, he's just good. He's savvy. He knows how to pick his spots when he's going to rush. At this point in his career, watching him, he's strategic. I heard Blaine speaking about him a little bit yesterday, Blaine Bishop, our teammate here, and he was just like, with him, it's a skill set. And I think that's how you got to view him. I like him more than Trey Hendrickson, and he's way older than Trey Hendrickson. If you were going to pick one, I would pick him.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. I think it makes a ton of sense. And within the scheme as well,
yeah,
that's your bigger edge. That would probably rotate with John Franklin Myers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would.
Because that seems to be the biggest foregone conclusion ever, that you're going to bring in John Franklin Myers.
Now, he also has to like you.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. In a lot of ways, it mirrors the Kevin Zeitler signing. Yeah. But it maybe is at a bit more premium of a position that teams would want to have him as a ring chaser. I mean, he was in New Orleans for so long. Maybe he does want to go to the AFC and not disrespect the Saints on the way out as he marches out, we should say.
He just missed the ring, too. What was that? The 09 ring, I think it was, for the Saints. He came 2 years later.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. 615-737-1045. More NFL headlines. The front runners for A.J. Brown. The interesting report on the Tua Tagovailoa move that hasn't happened yet, that we expect to happen at the beginning of the new league year. Plus, we're going to play you one of the worst hype speeches in the history of sports by a captain of a team that starts play tonight. All that and more coming up next.
Lord.
What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Hey, you've heard me talk about how Lead Company makes life better for homeowners, but did you know they do the same for their team? Yeah, if you're looking for a rewarding career, Lead Company is hiring skilled tradespeople in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, and more. With 80-plus years in the business, Lead Company invests in its award-winning team with training, benefits, and real career growth. You can apply today at leecompany.com/careers. That's leecompany.com/careers. Hey, Lead Company is a multi-award winning great place to work. They've got over 80 years of experience, trusted since 1944, with 14 community locations in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama. You always get the best service and advice when you get Lead Company to come by the house. If you want to join that team, you can head online to leadcompany.com/careers. That's Lead Company, all you need. Ramon Will rolls on, wrapping up hour number 1, 615-737-1045. An NFL exec says that it's going to take a first-round pick for the Dolphins to trade Tua Tagovailoa. And I don't mean they need to get a first-round pick. I mean, they're going to have to give a team a first-round pick in order to acquire Tua Tagovailoa.
That's cold, man. They just stuck.
Via Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports, an unnamed high-ranking team executive said he considered taking on the Tua Tagovailoa person and contract if the Dolphins would send a first-round pick to take on the freight of his contract. Again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. In 2017, the Texans sent a second-round pick in 2018 and a 2017 sixth with Brock Osweiler to the Cleveland Browns to get them to absorb his contract.
I do remember that being the case.
Buying a draft pick.
It just shows you, man. Yeah, you've said that a few times. I like how you use that term, man. Buying a draft pick. It just shows you, like, that's why I'm slow to go on quarterbacks from time to time, because Tua, right? And so Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, like, it's hard to watch these guys develop and turn into, eventually you want to be Josh Allen's. Eventually you want to be those types of guys. And even Drake May, moving forward into this third year, does he take that next step, especially without Stephon Diggs not being in the fold? And I know everybody's speculating that they're going to try to go get A.J. Brown, but we're talking about the Eagles trying to go get that. Tua was exciting. But again, when you're evaluating the quarterback position, I think it's important, because you bring this up as well. Oftentimes when speaking about Fernando Mendoza, like your window, I mean, your ability to play a lot of reps in college needs to be there as well. The tape, extensive tape, needs to be there as well, because when you're talking about guys playing 1, maybe 2 years, even if the young guys were bad in their freshman and sophomore year, you still get to see the growth. And I think the way Tua jumped onto the scene with Alabama, and then next thing you know, he's a top 5 pick just because he's a quarterback. I continually say, moving forward in the NFL, the secondary market of letting these guys grow up in other cities, other NFL teams, and then you coming to get them later, is probably going to be more common than we think.
It has been since Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's...
I mean, even before that, it was still common. It just doesn't often work. It's starting to work more now.
It's starting to. Yeah. That growth, man, from college to the NFL is not to be taken lightly. And you can try to surround Tua with all the tools, but he couldn't figure it out himself.
No.
Like, he became a mockery on, like, the big networks and some of the plays that he was making. Heck, here he was.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Jeff McClain of the Inquirer on Twitter says the Bills trading for DJ Moore would theoretically take them out of the A.J. Brown market. He adds they checked in with Philadelphia about A.J. Brown, from what he understands, adding the Patriots and Ravens are the most likely potential partners for A.J. Brown. Says the Eagles are inclined to only deal with AFC teams. I still think it'd be so Howie Roseman to trade him to a bad team.
Absolutely. He'll go to Cleveland.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, though, I still think that's probably what Howie would like to do. Now, I mean, is a team like that rebuilding that doesn't have draft capital they feel like they can part with doing that trade? Probably not. But New England obviously makes a ton of sense. A reunion with Mike Vrabel, and Baltimore always needs receivers, so they make sense too.
Didn't they claim they need they need a Quinnen Williams level trade to get AJ as well?
I think that was for Max Crosby, wasn't it? The Quinnen Williams level trade thing?
If I'm not mistaken, I heard Buck mention it this morning. Howie said he need a first round draft pick caliber trade to give up AJ as well. So you got to have a team that's willing to do that. Like, I feel like they just missed it. DJ Moore, I feel like, was probably the tip of the let's trade for high draft pick types of guys. And to your point about Howie Roseman, I'm not going to call Howie petty, but I've heard people deal with him as far as trades and NFL business, and he's a gotcha person.
Yeah, he is. He wants to not only get a good player and make a good deal, he wants to win the trade and have everyone posting memes of him with sunglasses on saying, Howie did it again.
Howie did it again.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah.
As a person and as a GM. Mike Garafolo is the one who said that the asking price was a Quinnen Williams type deal. So you're right on that. I missed that.
No,
and says they want a first-round pick with a second-round sweetener in exchange for A.J. Brown. Yeah, good luck with that, Howie.
They also got a player in that deal, too, Mozzie Smith.
Former first rounder.
Yeah.
And kind of a throw-in.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if AJ is warranting that, though.
I don't think he is.
On top of at this point, he going to need a new salary as well.
Yep. For sure. So there was a pump-up speech, a hype speech the other day.
I can't wait to hear it.
World Baseball Classic starts tonight, Ramon. Are you interested?
I am interested in it.
I love we've been so patriotic as a country to start this year. World Cup in obviously 97 days. I know that because it's 2 days before my wedding, and it's 99 days till my wedding. So we hit double digits today. And so we're going to be patriotic all year. Aaron Judge just turned down my patriotism that I had after Jack Hughes got his teeth knocked out and USA won gold in hockey. Aaron Judge videoed on a hype speech to USA Baseball this week. Take a listen to this.
Sacrifice for your family at home. You're sacrificing for your country, and you're sacrificing for the brothers in the trenches with you every single day. And that's one thing I want us to do, fellas. We're down, we're beat up a little bit, man. Lean into each other, man. We're gonna lay it out on the line. If we do that, we're bringing the goal home, man. I'm telling you.
Wow, I want to run through confetti. That really appreciate that, Aaron. Thanks, man. All right, anybody else want to get up and talk?
You know what he sound like? He sound like a Yankee.
No wonder the Yankees haven't won anything significant because that's the guy hyping them up before they go out and take the field.
He sounds like a New York Yankee.
He sounds like a guy giving a boardroom meeting. Like, all right, so if you take a look at our next slide, projections were up to 5 million, and we hit 4.8 here. We've not seen considerable growth.
Yeah.
And we'll address that in Q3 in order to make up these margins.
When you get the right pitch, go ahead and take that swing, brother. Go ahead and take that swing.
Yes. Those are the vibes I'm getting. He sound like what I think the Yankees want their players to be, man. Send them out to San Francisco, man, with Tony V. Will?
Yeah, they did beat the Giants the other day. USA.
They did? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh, man. That's
great
cold.
Baseball player, bad motivator. Aaron Judge.
Pretty much. I like Judge.
Tonight, the United States takes on Brazil, 7 o'clock Central. I believe FS1. The betting line for this game, Ramon, is minus 9.5. The United States favored by 9.5 runs over Brazil.
Let's go. Yes, we are.
Suck it, Lucas. I'm just kidding.
I don't do Lucas.
Obviously, he's still U.S. over Brazil or Italy. I don't know. I have no one to trash talk.
You just felt like it. No, it's okay. It's Friday, and we acting like it will.
Coming up, expect competition for a top Titans free agent target, the team that may battle for Wan'Dale Robinson's services. We'll talk about that next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. Nobody likes dealing with a plumber, HVAC, or electrical emergency at all. Trust me, I know that. If you're like me, you've had those issues trying to figure out what it's going to be, how much it's going to cost if it get fixed right, or somebody's trying to sell you something you do not need. I do know this. When you call or reach out to Hiller, their experts are going to solve your problems quickly, and the price you tell is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises on your bill at all when you get them. Hiller has been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. Their techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background and drug screened as well. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time, so you're not sitting around wasting your time for somebody to show up. Their motto is, and they truly believe it, happy you'll be or the service is free. If you're not satisfied with the work that they do around your home, they will fix it. Or just simply say, here, man, we'll give you your money back. That's the type of honesty and integrity they have when you do business with Hiller. You can do like I do, man. I go to the website and book with them, and that website is happyhiller.com. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
7:02. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Per Ian Rappaport this morning, the Los Angeles Chargers are making a splash before free agency next week, agreeing to terms with center Tyler Biadasz on a 3-year deal worth up to $30 million. Biadasz was released by the Commanders last week and now will get a raise in L.A. In Buffalo yesterday, quarterback Josh Allen got a top wide receiver target in the Bills' offense as Buffalo Bills made a big trade with the Chicago Bears for wide receiver DJ Moore and a 2026 fifth-round draft pick in exchange for a 2026 second-round pick. Another NFL news, 8-time Pro Bowl defensive end Cameron Jordan, who spent his entire 15-year career in New Orleans with the Saints, had 10.5 sacks last season. He will not get a new deal in place by next week with the Saints. He will hit free agency for the first time in his NFL career. And the Texans, they're giving 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Danielle Hunter a 1-year, $40 million extension that includes a $30.7 million signing bonus. The Titans, they made a couple transactions yesterday, signing exclusive rights free agents in guard Garrett Dellinger and defensive lineman C.J. Ravenel. The Nashville Predators made their 4th trade in 3 days as they are sending forward Michael Bunting to the Dallas Stars in exchange for a 2026 third-round draft pick. The NHL trade deadline is today at 2 p.m. Central Time, and last night the Preds made a big 6-3 win over the Boston Bruins at Bridgestone Arena. Matthew Wood scored twice, and Philip Forsberg had a goal and 2 assists in the win. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2, getting started on your Friday morning edition of Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045, the number. Brent Hubbs of AllQuest joining us in 15 minutes. We speed scout NFL draft edge rushers compared to NFL veterans. Coming up at 8:20, and Ron Slay stops by in hour 4. Streaming live on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. 615-737-1045. So Connor Hughes of SNY says on Twitter that the Titans will have competition for former Kentucky wide receiver and New York Giants pending free agent Wan'Dale Robinson. He writes on his Twitter at Connor_J_Hughes. While the Titans are very high on free agent wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson and there is mutual interest, the Giants will not go down quietly during the legal tampering period. Tennessee will have to outbid New York if they want the slot wideout who caught 92 passes for 1,014 yards and 4 touchdowns. Ramon, how aggressive should the Titans be for Wan'Dale Robinson next week?
I would say very aggressive, especially if you're going after one of those centers as well. And you simply tell Wan'Dale Robinson the truth, Will. You just look him dead in his eyes. You call his agent on FaceTime if you have to and say, Wan'Dale, they want to be very, very aggressive. But you're playing in New York. Your taxes up there versus up here, you're going to take home more money. Like, they might say they're going to be aggressive, but you're still going to lose a ton of money, and you're in one of the tougher divisions in football if you do choose to go to the Giants, is what they're saying. You got the Cowboys. You got the Commanders, right? And the Eagles. Like, don't run away from competition, but you're going to lose a ton of money if you choose to stay there. And you can come down here and be the guy or one of the main guys and flourish. Those are the things that I would tell him in that type of situation right there. Just be honest with him. Like, this is business. What are you trying to do? Take home more money or just stay in New York? Come on back down to the South, my boy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like that. That's how I'm handling that if I'm him. Unless there's like a big $10 million difference or something like that. I'm sorry, but you got to be a smart businessman in this type of situation right here.
Going to be interesting. Is it important for them to address center first? Like, does it matter in what order these signings happen next week?
Because of what's allowed in the salary cap, I don't think it matters what happens first. You just need to go in and be serious about the deals you're giving them. This isn't a, hey, let's play around negotiations. Like, if you want to be serious about getting your guys, go get them. Because equally important is center and wide receiver for this team. Because we've mentioned this before. Yeah, there's a good bread and butter part of this draft when it comes down to second-round wide receivers, but you just dealt with that last year with Chimere and Alec Ayumena. Like, that's the problem that you have is finding your, if not your guy, the premier player that you can trust offensively to catch footballs. And Wandale or Alec Pierce, one, have to be in a position where you get one of those guys plus a good center. If you're strategically trying to build this team up in those spots, because those aren't just upgradable spots. You really don't have a premier wide receiver, and you don't have a starter at center. I think the scenario is just totally different right now.
I think you just got to be ready to pounce on whatever the market dictates, right? Like 2 years ago when the Titans signed Tony Pollard, running backs went off the market most quickly. And like the second things opened up for you to make moves, Tony Pollard was the first signing that you made. Some markets are going to be hotter than others. It does feel like with Tyler Biadasz already signing in L.A., with the Chargers this morning, released Commanders center who is able to sign right away because he was released. That is not just becoming a free agent at the expiration of his contract. Tells me that the center market is going to pop off quickly.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised to see that addressed first. Titans are going to have to be proactive and not reactive on center. Luke Fortner, another name, Ramon, who's been brought up as a potential option. He was a starter in Jacksonville for 2 seasons, got benched in 2024, moved to the New Orleans Saints last season where he allowed 3 sacks as a backup, essentially playing half the season. He's going to be maybe a step below Cade Mays. But if we're still talking about the top options on the center market today, you were looking at Tyler Linderbaum, Connor McGovern, and Cade Mays as the 3 premier options with the most starting experience that could address your big need at center.
I'm hoping for their sake, the Titans' sake, right, that whoever they choose to sign at center becomes your Ben Jones. What I mean is the second contract guy where, heck, I thought Ben was a Titan all his career.
And
you know
Ben,
what I'm saying?
to be honest with you, is one of the best free agent signings the Titans have made. Period.
Yeah.
Period. For what he gave you, I mean, him and Delaney Walker are the ones that you talk about when you speak about most impactful Titans free agents. Because, Ramon, there is a who's who.
Woodyard in there, too.
Yeah,
just because
Wesley
that's
Woodyard,
my guy.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It's another great example. But the Titans have had the most amount of success as a franchise historically signing those types of players versus the Vic Beasleys.
No doubt.
Versus the Calvin Ridleys, versus the Julio Joneses, and I know they traded for Julio.
Clowneys, right?
Jadeveon Clowney is another great example. Like, the Titans haven't had a ton of success paying top-of-market free agents in their franchise's history. They have had some success paying these solid foundational roster guys who did not maybe break the bank the day they put pen to paper, but stuck around. And that feels more like what the strategy is going to be. How do we fill this roster up with high floor, we know what we are getting, solid, durable scheme fits in the second and third tiers by position, and then take a couple of big swings at people like McGovern or Linderbaum, Alec Pierce, Wandale Robinson, maybe an edge rusher. I mean, John Franklin Myers is going to be near the top of the edge rusher market at this point as well. But yeah, I think you're right. If you went and found another Ben Jones, and sign me up for that 10 times out of 10.
So that's my point on like this center signing. Like when you talk about the young guy from the Saints, what was his name?
Luke Fortner.
Luke Fortner.
Kentucky guy.
He got over free agent by my guy Mitch Morse a few years ago, or a couple years ago in Jacksonville. Like, they brought in a guy over him. I'm not saying he ain't taking the proper steps to become a starter more in this league, but if you're going and trying to find a guy that you can help sustain this group of young dudes that the Titans already have, they're young and talented already. You just got to figure out which piece is going to work better, whether it's Tyler Linderbaum or Connor McGovern, when it comes to your continuation of building this thing up to be more solid. And the only reason I bring that up is because you can't swing low on this one. Like, this is a point to where you get a free agent center, and then you can start to plan, maybe draft a 3rd-round center next year and say, or the year after, it's like, that's our future guy.
Now you go get one before you need one because you like a player specifically.
There we go.
That's how you build a football team.
You got to give yourself grace. I feel like this free agent signing right here to start build up is where it's at this point.
For sure. A couple comments to the F&M Bank chat. Duck Falling says Danico Autry was a steal. 100% agree.
Danico's in that conversation.
I think he'd be up there more if he'd stayed here longer. But yeah, for the time he was here, definitely. He said, I just don't want another Yancey Thigpen situation. That is the other name I was thinking of when I said the Titans have not fared well in the top of free agent market. Brian writes in and says, if they sign Trey Hendrickson, does that guarantee we draft Love or trade back for more picks? Well, first of all, I don't think you're going to sign Trey Hendrickson. I don't think that lines up with what they want to do in free agency, to have an aging player in their 30s.
Right.
To be here that's likely going to go somewhere in a Super Bowl window. And no, I don't think it would guarantee anything. Now, it might take edge rusher off the board if you did Hendrickson, but at the same time, Hendrickson is in his early 30s. There's no guarantee Hendrickson would be here more than 2 years or 1 year. For
clarity as well, too, when we spoke about Cam Jordan earlier, I'm only taking Cam Jordan in 1 year.
Right. Like, Cam Jordan is the equivalent of what Bobby Wagner was to the Washington Commanders.
There we go.
He's the equivalent of what Kevin Zeitler was last season to the Tennessee Titans. He is a captain, leader, Walter Payton Man of the Year kind of guy who you feel like is an extension of the coaching staff.
Yes.
Is a good football player still with something to offer and has been durable late into their careers to say that, I might be 36, but I've played 242 out of a possible 243 games in my NFL career. That's Cam Jordan. It's not the same thing.
No.
And it's not going to break the bank the way Trey Hendrickson is going to cost you a significant amount.
I think he still want multi-years.
Right.
And to your point, like when you got a guy like him that want multi-years, like you got to consider your contracts of young fellas coming up, Cam at some point in time, if he hits the way you need him to, and just continually building this team up. And on top of, you still need a center and a wide receiver this free agent cycle as well.
And 2 corners.
So, yeah.
And an off-ball linebacker.
I don't think he fits into the budget.
Maybe a safety. A guard.
Just stop while we're here, because I'm like.
A tight end if Chig's gone.
It's so many.
A running back if Tony's gone. Lots to get to. No doubt about it. 615-737-1045. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest. Lots to get to in Knoxville, as always. He joins us coming up next. Ramon Will rolls on Friday morning on 104.5 The Zone. Lots to get to on Rocky Top, as always, with Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined by our good friend Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On 3 for his weekly visit. Good morning, Brent. How are you?
Morning, Hubbs.
I'm doing well. Hope you guys are well this Friday.
Well, so I'm doing better than Ramon because Ramon's got a problem that I hope, Brent, maybe you could add some advice to and help with. Ramon, do you want to explain what's going on at Casa Foster?
Yeah, Hubbs. So I go outside, and this started up this year, man. My wife's truck, I posted on Twitter, and mine as well, has just been getting attacked by birds. Okay,
We've got an angry sparrow situation.
I got an angry sparrow situation, and it's pooping on the mirrors, it's scratching the windows, it's fighting itself in the mirror, and it's chaos on foldable mirrors inside of it. I saw it the other day. It just landed on the inside of it, Hubs, and I walked up to it and it flew away. I got to figure something out, Hubs. What would you do in this situation?
Well, there's two things you can do, Ramon.
Okay.
One, you can cover both cars. Okay, because what's happening here is your cars are so clean, your windows are so clean and so pristine that the sparrow is seeing its reflection and it's attacking itself because it thinks that something is coming after it. So the problem here, Ramon, is your things are too nice and your things are too clean. So you either got to cover it or you got to let them get dirty. One or the other, man. I don't have that problem in my house because my car is so dirty it doesn't matter.
See?
So that's the bottom line. The sparrow is seeing itself in its reflection and it's attacking what it's seeing, which is your paint job.
Come on, Hubs. Like, if I go buy these car covers...
Listen, you asked me, Ramon. I mean, you asked. I gave you an answer.
I figured that's like, I'm going to use this F word. I figured as your friend, my friend, we're friends. We'd find a better, like, maybe violent way to handle this or like cheaper.
You can sit out there with a BB gun in all your spare time if you want to. Now, we're going to get some activist groups after us, okay? So, I mean, you got to be prepared for that. I mean, the other thing you can do is put your car in the garage, But I mean, I'm just you asked me the question, Ramon, and that's the best I got for you this morning, buddy.
I feel like if I buy the car cover, I lose the war. Okay.
We said earlier, it's like letting them win, having to go through that much work.
Why do I suddenly imagine the commando scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger getting ready, and there's Ramon out there getting parked in with his weapon of choice to take care of the sparrow.
If there is an alleged BB gun available, okay, what I'm telling you is
Get you a slingshot.
I am past the county line, dude, okay? Like, there's a family that lives around us that just lets off America each and every Sunday, okay? I'm talking about, I know they got some doggone, what's the name of that stuff that explodes?
Fireworks?
No, not fireworks. Not that. The stuff that explodes, man. I know they are shooting those off, okay? I hear semi-autos, I hear pistols,
okay.
And I feel like I should be able to find a BB gun is all I'm saying, Hubs. And sparrows aren't protected, okay?
Here's what you do. Get you a slingshot, take out one of them, put the other ones in a cage, and name them Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod.
You made me spill my water on that one.
And somewhere Grant Ramey smiled.
Yes, absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest with us this morning. We always say there's so much to get to with Brent. A little different this morning to start off. Brent, Tennessee football headed on spring break, getting ready for spring practice on March 16th. What does the next week look like for them as they get ready to hit the ground running on what is going to be a very interesting month and change of spring practice?
Well, if you're going to go get your R&R, you better get your R&R early in the week, and you better not have any R&R late in the week because you do not want to come back out of shape or overweight and not where you're supposed to be when you return for a Sunday night meeting, or Derek Owens is going to have a lot of fun with you in a way that you probably don't want to have fun when you come back. So you got to be smart. Tennessee, by design, set this spring practice up to have spring break before spring practice got started because there's so much defensive install. They did not want to do the 2 weeks of practice, take a week off, come back for 2 weeks. They felt like that interruption might not be the best thing for this team. So they're going to go straight through spring, and you better not have too much fun and relaxation, right, Ramon? Don't come back heavy.
At all.
It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Chaz Coleman is someone you guys wrote about, Brent, in the War Room this morning at VolQuest.com. I'm curious on just the early returns on him. I know we're very early into the offseason for getting these guys on the grass and playing football. But with him kind of being the headliner, Brent, of that edge rusher group that came in this offseason, where are you at just confidence level-wise with Tennessee's pass rushers? There's some talent there. He leads that group, but not a whole lot of depth overall, is there?
Well, I think if you take the quarterback competition out of the equation, the biggest question surrounding this team is how do they get to the quarterback?
Right.
And what does that look like? And a lot of people are saying Chaz Coleman because, one, he looks good. Two, he's played in this system before, so his transition defensively should be easier than other guys' transition. But what does that end position look like? They're not going to have a lot of 220-pound guys rolling around as edge rushers on a consistent basis. Now, heck, they might walk Jaden Perlotti up there, and he'd be an edge rusher on some third downs or something, but they're going to play with two heavier ends, or at least two ends that are heavy compared to what they've done the last few years, which is a heavy, strong side defensive end and that Leo or that weak side defensive end. So they're going to look different. The question is who can get there. What does Marion Dye look like? What does Tyree Weathersby look like? Obviously, Chaz Coleman, what does he look like? Where does the help come at that end spot? Who can find their way to get to the quarterback without having to bring the house all the time? I think that is a huge question mark for this defense as we go into spring practice.
No doubt about it. We're joined by Brent Hubbs this morning of VolQuest on 3. Hubbs, one position I don't think we talked a lot about is off-ball linebackers. Where's the recovery for Arian Carter and how that group is going to look coming back into this spring and going into the summer as well?
With a lot of bodies. They got a lot of bodies back there. I mean, William Edge has got unbelievable competition when you look at that group. So, of course, Carter will not go through spring, but even a guy like Jaden Harmon, who has had a tremendous January. Now, does that translate into football on the field? Because we heard his name early last year in September, and then we didn't see him play a lot of snaps. But where is he at? Where's Perlotti at? You know, Edwin Spillman's a guy that Jim Knowles recruited heavily and hard to Ohio State. He knows exactly what he's getting in Edwin Spillman and why he wanted him so bad. So you've got a lot of competition. Of course, then you've got the transfer in Amari Campbell from Penn State, who should be an anchor for them just because he knows the defense right out of the gate. And then you got some freshmen who can play. I mean, there are a lot of bodies at linebacker. You better not take a day off at the linebacker position because William Inge has got the greatest leverage of any, and that's playing time. So you better go earn it starting this spring.
Man, we were talking a little bit earlier about losing Ricky Gibson, but you got talent still. What is that group looking like as far as outside? And the other part as well, Hubs, is the big jump for Ty. Like Ty Redmond. Watching him, is he a motivated athlete to where he just won't rest on whatever last year was? Because, I mean, he played, I thought, phenomenal for a freshman in that position, and he's just an amazing-looking athlete as well.
Well, I mean, he is a guy that you believe in because of what he did for you. You hope and believe that he's hungry because, I mean, if he's made up of what you think he's made up of, and a guy who wants to be a high NFL draft pick and that type of thing, he's looking at Colton Hood and what he did in a year and what Jermod McCoy did in a year here. There's no reason to believe that he can't take and won't take another step to being what you hope is an elite corner. He's got all the measurables that you want. He got a ton of experience on the fly. And Ramon, you saw it last year. I mean, as we get into the back half of the season, he started playing the position as a corner, not as an athlete playing corner. Mm-hmm. He went through that stretch where people picked on him because he was just the athlete playing the position. He started to read defenses or offenses better. He started to study more film. He started to get a feel for everything. So he should be better, and he should be the anchor. Now, the other side of that is going to be, where is Jadis Richard, the young man who transferred in from Miami? What does that look like? How big of a factor is he going to be? You've got the transfer in from Auburn as well. What does he look like? How does that play for Tennessee? That's Kayan Lee. He understands this league. He's played in it. And then you've got a couple of returning guys. What does a guy like Tim Merritt do this offseason? I mean, if you're Tim Merritt, I don't want to say it's a watershed moment, But if you look up and you're thinking, okay, here's my opportunity this offseason, and they bring in, 2 or 3 corners out of the transfer portal, are they recruiting over you? How do you respond to that? Do you mope, or do you go out and say, no, I'm going to plant my flag and I'm going to go compete, and you're going to have to beat me out for a spot, even though you may have more experience than me. So I'm curious to see what a couple of those sophomore guys look like at the corner position, Merritt being the biggest one, to create some competition at corner opposite of Redmond and to create some real depth there.
Brent, Tennessee with a big game against Vanderbilt tomorrow, a rematch for the Commodores, looking for a little bit of revenge, and an interesting decision that Rick Barnes has got to make. Talking about Nate Ament the other day, I know he says that, if he needed to play, he would have against South Carolina. He would like to. How challenging, Brent, of a call is this for Rick Barnes to say, on one hand, rest may do Nate Ament really well going forward into the SEC and NCAA tournaments, but at the same time, you lose this game. Now you're playing an extra game on Thursday at the SEC tournament. How do you think Rick Barnes kind of tries to weigh all of those different factors in deciding whether or not Nate's ready to go tomorrow?
Well, it depends on what the trainers and doctors say about Nate. Nate's going to want to play, and Nate wanted to play Tuesday night, and if he gets cleared to play, then Rick Barnes will play him. If he's not cleared to play, then he won't play him. And I think Rick will defer strictly to the medical staff on this one. I don't think he'll use a coach's decision if he were good to go. I don't think. Here's the thing, too. I mean, if you play Saturday, you play tomorrow, and you get the double bye, he's got 3 days rest, before you get ready to play again. So if he's cleared to play, then I think he plays, because you've got something to play for based on what happened Tuesday night with the rest of the league. If you didn't have something necessarily to play for today, or as much, it's pretty crystal clear, I guess is what I'm saying. If you win Saturday, you got the double bye. If you don't, you could be anywhere from a 5, 6 to a 7 seed, depending on what else happens. So I think that you're going to make your decision solely based on what the trainers tell you.
What do you think the key is, Brent, tomorrow in this matchup? A very interesting matchup of the way these two teams, one with excellent guard play in Vandy, and Tennessee's had better guard play through the season, but their front line has been so terrific as well and so deep. But what stands out to you about the matchup?
I think they got to win in the post. I think Tennessee's got to win inside. I think they've got to try to play a little bully ball and play it that way. And then you've obviously got to guard the three-point line. You've got to guard their drives, their straight-line drives. I think the biggest key for Tennessee, if you're Rick Barnes, what are you writing on the board? You're writing 40. You're writing 40 minutes, because you've proven you can play with anybody in the country. And you've played with everybody in the country for 30 to 35 minutes. What you haven't done is you haven't played 40 minutes, which is why you've blown leads at Rupp Arena. You blew a lead to Kansas. You blew a lead at home to Kentucky. You blew a lead at home to Alabama. It's about 40 minutes. You got to finish. You got to finish for 40 minutes.
Hubs.
Ramon.
What are we going to do about these Lady Vols, man? Everything is happening like public as well. The suspensions are, the arrests are, the embarrassments. Last night with the starters, Tylasia getting a foul and walking to the end of the bench. She's going with backups. Hubs, it looks bad, man. And I know the Vol Twitter is bad. I know social media can get bad, but I'll be honest with you. This looks and feel bad as well, Hubs.
Yeah, listen, you do not want to make news this time of year on anything other than basketball and playing on the court, and Tennessee's made too much news. When your lead story last night's the fact that Tylasia Cooper didn't play the last 16:30, and then she was the first one who left the locker room, and she left a long time before her teammates left the locker room with a staff member and just kind of drifted off into the bus by herself. Those aren't the storylines that you're looking for. No. This is a team struggling. They're struggling big time on the defensive end. They're struggling with offensive continuity. They don't play very well together. I think they're going to make the tournament. Based on everything, it feels like everybody says they're going to be a 7, 8, or 9 seed. But you're not going to know that for 12 days. So what happens over the course of the next 12 days? with this team? Do they just kind of disappear and there is no news, or do we continue to have news? We know Danny White is staunchly in Kim Caldwell's corner based on comments he made on the Sports Animal in Knoxville earlier this week. So that's not the deal. I think the question mark right now is, what's the plan? What's the plan moving forward? What's your identity going to be? What's your roster going to look like? I mean, you're losing some seniors. Now you wonder what Talasia Cooper's future looks like right now. Where are all the freshmen with everything right now? You know, you don't want to go into a year, even though this roster's had its challenges from a personality, continuity, and all those things, and relationships and culture and all the catchwords you want to do. It's really hard to sit here going into year 3 and say, hey, you got to go get 9 or 10 players out of the portal. That's not what you want to do. So I don't know. I think that, unfortunately, the NCAA tournament has become a very secondary thought to where things are coming out of year 2, heading into year 3 with Kim Caldwell and her basketball program.
No doubt about it. I know Danny White gave her his vote of confidence publicly the other day or earlier this week. But how wild of a situation would it be to consider looking over her shoulder? Or is this just like a hard sit down into letting her know, well, with this amount of talent, you still have to coach and be very disciplined? Or does he, just go over her head?
Well, I think you have to sit down, and you should have already had some sit-down meetings with her, and they have had some conversations.
Okay.
But you have to sit down quickly here during this break, in my opinion, and you got to lay out a plan. Like, what's the plan? What's the plan for roster development, roster management? What's the plan for your recruiting? What's your staff plan? What is your plan with your culture? What is your style plan? Like why are you here at this point in year 2? Yes, the February schedule was brutal. Mm-hmm. It was really hard. Okay, but the reality is teams are averaging 50% from the field against them over basically the month of February. They're giving up 80 plus points a game on average. They've got offensive areas they need to fix, but they got to learn to sit down and guard. They don't guard enough defensively. So what is the plan? If you're Danny White, when you're looking at everything, because that's the question he's getting from donors. He's getting tagged in all the Twitter stuff. Like, what is the plan? What does that look like? I think is the biggest question mark.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy about it. Like, teams hit unprecedented shots. Like, shooters who aren't even shooters are making like field goals on them. It is, I didn't know that number, that what their field goal percentage was that they were giving up. But it feels like a Washington. It just doesn't stop. And they don't have the shooters right now to combat other teams scoring as well. I got frustrated last night. I had to turn it off. I just did.
Here's the thing. You're not shooting 50% from the field because you're shooting a bunch of 15-foot jump shots and a bunch of three-point shots. You're making 50% from the field because you're getting runs to the rim. Mm-hmm. You got to play. You got to play better defense. You've got to limit the layups. You've got to do those things. I'll let Ron Slay talk about that when he comes on. He knows basketball better than I do. But at some point, you have to make stylistic decisions. Yeah. You got to have a change-up to your fastball. Listen, she's built around a press. But when your press is ineffective, do you continue to press and give up layups, or do you get out of that press and sit down and squat down and play half-court defense and go from there? Do you play a zone? Like, what is your defensive plan? What's your defensive identity going to be beyond the press? There are not a lot of teams in the country on either side of the spectrum, on the men's side and the women's side, who are pressing for 40 minutes. I mean, I know they're going to put up a statue of Nolan Richardson, and he did it in an era where it was a shock to everybody. But you look at where Shaka Smart is. Shaka Smart's not doing everything he was doing at VCU, because when he moved up from VCU, it didn't work at every level, right? It didn't work at Texas. So he's still doing it some now at Marquette, but he's not doing it every possession. He's become more multiple. The same way Josh Heupel spent last offseason going, you know what? I better not put my receivers outside the numbers every play, because teams have got ways to combat that. We've got to have better answers to it. She's got to develop some defensive answers beyond the press, in my opinion.
That's right.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joins us Fridays at 7:20 here on the show at Brent_Hubbs on Twitter, VolQuest.com, where you get the War Room each and every Friday. Great stuff as always, Brent. Appreciate you. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, Hubbs.
All right, guys. Thanks. I'll send you some links to some car covers, Ramon.
I got you. Thank you. I know he means
All right,
that
guys.
too.
Y'all have a great weekend.
You too.
Hubbs.
Brent Hubbs with us this morning. Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life, brings him to you. On the bright side, if you are a Lady Vols fan, number one softball starts SEC play tonight against LSU.
Yes,
I'll be on the
sir.
call for that tonight at SEC Network Plus at 5 p.m. Central tonight and 2 o'clock Central tomorrow.
And you was just saying in your studying of them, they're just really good.
Well, Ramon, they have outscored opponents in their 20-0 start to the season. They've outscored opponents 144-10. Wow. They have a .5 ERA this season, which leads the NCAA. I would hope a .5 ERA leads the NCAA. One of two teams that have a sub-1 ERA as a pitching staff this year.
Wow.
If you're looking for a good story on the Lady Vols side of things, you will certainly have one in them. They are electric. So excited to see that tonight. Driving up to Knoxville after the show. Coming up, speaking of other sports, other things going on, your new favorite segment is back, Ramon.
Let's do it.
The 90 in 90. What you need to know for Nashville SC and Minnesota United tomorrow after this.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. To tell you about my friends at Jewel Roofing. By the way, shout out to Robbie, man. He's the owner. He hit me up yesterday, actually, man. Just those are relationships that you have with Jewel Roofing. It is very personal, man. It's because they are a trusted, family-owned Middle Tennessee company. It's been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. They stand up by building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics, door knocking, or storm chasing at all. And we know those companies, the real big companies that are outside of the city that come in when they know there's been a big storm, tornado, whether it's high wind or whatever the case may be. And they just want you to submit a claim to your insurance so that they can get paid. And then you know what they do? They leave town. You don't hear from them. There's no warranties behind the things that they do usually, or they just don't do good work and you have to call somebody else to fix it. Well, guess what? You don't have those issues when you do business with Jewel Roofing. It's because they have high quality materials and they just are local and in the community. If there is an issue, or visit their website at jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
Yes, we can kick it tomorrow night in Geodis Park. As Ramon Will continues, wrapping up the first half of a very fast show so far. Nashville SC taking on Minnesota United with 7 o'clock pregame and 7:30 the kick right here on 104.5 The Zone. Lucas Panzica will have the call for you. It is the Barbie game day at Geodis Park.
Hey, let's go. I remember watching that movie actually be filmed in L.A. when they were doing it. Yeah, right. No doubt about it.
Absolutely right.
Fascinating. Barbie, though? What was just because?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I like it.
Why not?
If you love it, I like it. If we like it, I love it.
It is time to run it back, the 90 in 90, previewing the 90 minutes in 90 seconds here as we wrap up hour 2. So Nashville SC is unbeaten in 4 matches across all competitions in 2026, and the boys in gold recorded their first shutout against an MLS opponent last Saturday in a scoreless draw in Dallas against FC Dallas. It was Nashville's first shutout against an MLS opponent since July 19th of last season, ending a streak of 17 matches without a clean sheet against league opposition. Minnesota United comes to town, nicknamed the Loons. They bring a new manager to town, Cameron Knowles, who kept Eric Ramsey's seat warm as Minnesota's interim head coach before the British manager arrived in 2024. Now he is in charge once again, and Minnesota United is typically not known as one of the big spenders in Major League Soccer. However, they brought in former Real Madrid and Bayern Munich star, current Colombian national team member James Rodriguez this past offseason. James is yet to make his Minnesota or MLS debut. He spent the last 2 seasons in Liga MX for León of the Mexican top flight. He won 4 titles in 4 years, from La Liga in Spain to the Bundesliga in Germany, 3 titles as well in the Portuguese top flight at the beginning of his career. In 4 seasons at Real Madrid, he had 29 goals and 28 assists. He is a global superstar that Nashville will likely be tasked with playing against for the very first time in his MLS career. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 the kick right here on The Zone.
No doubt.
That's about 90 seconds.
That was good stuff.
Thank you.
All the way through, it was good stuff, man. Quick question for you.
Quick answer.
I see somebody say Nashville SC, NSC needs a dub tomorrow. They're not doing bad to need a dub, are they?
That was
that's a quick dub right there.
They always look to win at home, but
of course.
They've not started the season poorly by any stretch of the imagination. They've started it quite well.
And offensively,
unbeaten.
Just looking at the scores too, they are a electric group.
Yes.
You're going to see goals. That's one thing I hate about watching sports I wasn't familiar with. When I started watching baseball, like, why am I watching this? And then you start to understand there's more strategy and more plays that are in it than you recognize. But I always need something. I think that's why baseball took off so much in the 90s. Well, steroids plus home runs. But with this group, what I'm getting at is this. You're going to see goals.
You are. And that I do.
With Nashville SC.
I think is a positive of where Nashville SC is at this point. No one in the Eastern Conference has scored more through 2 matches than Nashville SC, with 4 goals in 2 games, and all 4 of them coming in the first game, a win over New England. But if you don't know what you are watching, Nashville is still going to be really entertaining. That's not always the case in soccer.
Right.
My favorite team in England, Arsenal. Not the most fun team to watch if you're a neutral observer who doesn't know what they're watching. It's the equivalent of Big Ten football. And we love it. We absolutely love it. But, Nashville SC is a very entertaining team. It is a really good team. When I met with BJ Callahan before the first game, I was talking to him about the new center back they brought in. They brought in Maxwell Woleji, who was his club's player of the year in Norway. Norway is where Nashville brought in Patrick Jasbek, their midfielder from Australia, and Eddie Tagseth, who's become quite a fan favorite. He was named to the best 11, basically first team All-Pro, Ramon, in Norway at center back.
Yeah.
And BJ told us, he said, he's going to do some things that make the crowd ooh and ah this season. Yeah. And in the first game, as a center back, he was going shoulder to shoulder, like stiff-arming an attacker away from him, attacking into the attacking end with the ball at his feet, like dribbling forward like a midfielder or a forward would.
Yes.
Not something that's normal at all to have a center back, a defender, like dribbling forward with the ball in possession, trying to get around and continue to attack forward into the midfield line, where you typically see midfielders. It's a really fun team to watch. Minnesota is a really solid opponent.
Right.
They're also a really entertaining team to watch, and Minnesota is 1-0-1 to start the year. So it's going to be a really fun game. Minnesota's a good team. Nashville's a really good team. Nashville scored 75 goals in all competitions last year, and if you are a diehard, you know what you're watching, or if you don't know what you're watching, you're going to be entertained nonetheless.
So Michael cleared up why he said needs to get a dub. He's like, he just wants them to stack 3 points as much as possible early in the season while their form looks so good. What does form looking good
Form means the way you're playing.
Okay.
If you're in good form, you're playing well. If you're in bad form, you're not.
Okay. So he's saying they're streaking, so keep it hot.
I will be interested to see how BJ Callahan manages the lineup and manages the game.
Why would he mess it up?
Because you have CONCACAF Champions Cup next Wednesday and a quick turnaround to a man named Lionel Messi and Inter Miami coming to town in the first leg of 2 of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So Nashville is in the Champions Cup and MLS at the same time. So they're in the knockout round of a 2-legged tie, we call it, against Miami. Miami will come here next Wednesday, and then Nashville will go to Miami the following Wednesday. You put together the scores of those 2 games, and whoever has more advances to the quarterfinal at that point. It's always Miami.
Okay.
We always seem to find them.
And by the
They
way,
always seem to find us.
Saturday, you can get lower level next to the players' bench for like only $175 a ticket. I say only, but
That's where your mind automatically goes as to what are the nicest seats available. But to your point, that's not a bad price to pay for the nicest seats.
it's way better than paying $250 or $325 inside a Nissan Stadium
Club level,
right now.
all inclusive as well, with all you can eat and drink.
And that's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
All you're
Will.
saying. 615-737-1045. Headlines this morning. A center is off the market. A wide receiver got traded for what I think is way too much after this.
8:02, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. A couple signings this morning in the NFL. Per Ian Rappaport, the Los Angeles Chargers are making a splash before free agency, agreed to terms with center Tyler Biadasz on a 3-year deal worth $30 million. Biadasz was released by the Commanders last week and now will get a raise in L.A. Speaking of L.A. teams, the Rams and star safety Cam Curl agreed to terms on a 3-year deal with a maximum value of $36 million, which would double his previous salary. And yesterday in Buffalo, the Bills made a big trade yesterday with the Bears trading for wide receiver DJ Moore, a 2026 fifth-round draft pick, in exchange for a 2026 second-round draft pick. And the Titans, they made a couple transactions yesterday, signing exclusive rights free agents in guard Garrett Dellinger and defensive lineman C.J. Ravenel. The Nashville Predators, they made their fourth trade in 3 days last night as they're sending forward Michael Bunting to the Dallas Stars in exchange for a 2026 third-round draft pick. The NHL trade deadline is coming up today at 2 p.m. Central. And last night, the Preds had a big 6-3 win over the Boston Bruins at Bridgestone Arena. Matthew Wood scored twice, and Philip Forsberg tallied a goal and 2 assists in the win. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into the second half of the show this morning on Ramon and Will. A beautiful Friday, a great weekend upcoming. And glad you're with us here on 104.5 The Zone and Zone TV. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. You can hit the subscribe and follow button on the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel and join the nearly 20,000 of you who are in our community there. We're getting close. Not going to sign you up for anything. It's not going to cost you anything. So we'd love it if you would help us out and hit the subscribe button to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. Buffalo sends a 2026 second-round pick to Chicago, Ramon, in exchange for DJ Moore and a 2026 fifth. Who won the trade? Bears or Bills?
Bears. Bears did. The question is, again, what cost is a Super Bowl to you? How expensive or how cheap do you feel like it is if you're Buffalo? Buffalo historically has been one of those, I won't say downtrodden, but they're the best of the optimistic losers when you look at how their franchise has been since the 90s. We're talking about 4 straight Super Bowls. So, of course, they're chasing the ghosts of understanding what windows are. They understand how to get there. They got a new stadium coming in 2026 that they're unveiling to the world. They got a franchise quarterback, defense been fair, new head coach, restructuring of a lot of things inside of that building, and they feel like they got to go get it. So we say it's expensive and stupid. They look at it like this is justified because they're in that window. But I personally don't look at it and see, yes, I believe it. When we spoke about Josh Allen earlier this offseason, he's got a lot to prove still. Like, How many times we continually trust that Josh Allen's going to be the guy? He's dynamic. He's a NFL MVP right now. But either him or them don't, as far as the Buffalo Bills organization, don't know how to set a roster up. Heck, They went through a lot of turmoil, a lot of, I guess, public disputes last night with James Cook and his contract situation before they finally decide to pay him. So they're in this boat again. This time they just gave a crazy amount of money to a player that only got him 800 yards receiving on his previous team, plus the second-round pick. Sure. Losing the second-round pick.
Dan Graziano this morning has projections at ESPN.com of where players are going to land and what their contract numbers are going to be. Tyler Biadasz has landed in L.A. this morning for 3 years, $30 million, the recently released center for the Washington Commanders. You are really good at guessing what contracts are going to look like. So I want to go through this and see if your numbers match up with Dan's on some of these. I do want to start, though, with projected landing spots for some top targets. There's only one player on this entire list that Dan Graziano has landing with the Titans, and that is John Franklin Myers, the defensive end from Denver. The contract projection for John Franklin Myers, any guesses? I overestimated this the other day.
John Franklin Meyer would probably end up getting a 3-year, 27.
3 years, $40 million with $15 million guaranteed.
I didn't know he was up there like that.
John Franklin Myers turns 30 in September. Dan Graziano says, so he might not get the attention some of the younger guys of the defensive line market, but he has been a productive part of one of the best defenses in the league the past 2 years in Denver. And we have him reuniting with his former coach, Robert Saleh.
3 years, 40? Wow. Double digits for a dude? Okay. It's one of those hot spots. It's corner, it's edge, it's quarterback, it's wide receiver. So I get why the market is inflated, of course. I just didn't expect him going into his 30s for not necessarily a role player, but a guy that's a specialty piece to be getting that type of pay. But the market is different these days.
Mm-hmm. There are two other players who are predicted with the Titans. This one's interesting. Travis Etienne, running back of the Jacksonville Jaguars, predicted landing spot, Tennessee Titans.
Travis Etienne?
Contract projection, I'll just tell you this one.
Yeah.
3 years, $39 million with $20 million guaranteed. Would you rather keep Tony Pollard at the number you have him at or go pay Travis Etienne a little bit more money?
I'll probably go Etienne. I think he's a little bit more of a home run hitter. He can catch. You know he's a weapon.
He's a good receiver for sure.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. He's more multifaceted than I feel like Pollard is.
17 games, 16 starts this past year, real quick on ETN.
Yeah.
260 carries, just over 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. He had, in the receiving game, 36 catches for 292 yards. Back in 2023, he had 476 receiving yards and just under 1,500 all-purpose that year between rushing and receiving.
I would sign up for that. Absolutely sign up for that. Now,
I think it's a solid second option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question goes then, if that's the case, do you have to go find a bruiser? Well, they got Khalil Mullings as well.
They do.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I mean, the question still stands, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mullings is predominantly a special teamer at this point in his career, do you still need to go find a bigger short yardage back? You might.
Somebody immediately, Daryl brings up in her chat, like, do you cut Tajay for him or do you keep Tajay? Like, we've brought this up before when it comes down to staking your claim as a bona fide NFL player. Like, Tajay's got to stay healthy. His reputation is, yes, we're very hopeful and hoping that he can be a guy like Travis Etienne has been, but you got within 2 years to really stake your claim on what type of player you're going to be in this league. And I personally don't think Tajay's done that. I think if you ask league-wide what Tajay is going to be, I think a lot of people don't know because he hadn't actually seen those types of things. We hadn't seen that production out of him. We've probably seen a max of 10 plays in which Tajay Spears has made himself look like people say he's going to be, and that's not enough to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not enough.
Interesting. Wonder what that would mean for their ability to draft Jeremiah Love if they go sign Travis Etienne.
I almost feel like you move on from him if that's the case.
From Love?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think you're paying a running back $13 million a year to share carries with Jeremiah Love.
Think about if you do take Jeremiah Love, that's a $40 million contract.
Yeah.
So you got $70 million
over probably 5 years, but yeah. No,
well, yeah.
Over 4 years, really.
I mean, and then a big chunk of that has to be paid usually for the top 5 guys, top 10 guys.
Alec Pierce projected to land with the Los Angeles Chargers from ESPN's Dan Graziano in this piece. Any guesses on contract number here?
Alec Pierce?
Yeah.
Let's go 4 years, 92.
You're pretty close on value. 3 years, 80.
3 years, 80.
Is what Dan Graziano says for Alec Pierce with $55 million guaranteed. Again, these are all projections. All projections. The predicted landing spot for Kenneth Walker is the Washington Commanders.
See that.
Dollar amount guess here?
I'm going to go average of about 9.5 a year for Kenneth Walker. So let's go 4 years, 34.
3 years, 44.
3 years, 44.
For Kenneth Walker is the projection from Dan Graziano. Malik Willis. Projected landing spot, Arizona Cardinals. Contract guess on Malik? This one surprises me, actually.
4 years, 120.
Whew. Lower. A lot lower.
Oh, okay.
2 years, $44 million with $32 guaranteed.
That ain't bad.
I just really don't think it's going to go well for Malik wherever he goes. I'd love to be wrong. I love Malik Willis, the person.
Yeah.
And maybe I should learn my lesson because I've already doubted Malik, and he's already done way more than I ever expected him to do when he left here. I just think he's throwing a lot of screens and a lot of dump downs and a lot of easy one-read, two-read things for Matt LaFleur, and he's going to go to a place that does not have the luxury to simplify the offense for his skill set.
So a Hall of Fame quarterback who does film study, Kurt Warner.
Yes.
Had a comment.
Yes, he did.
On Malik Willis.
Yes,
and he also
did.
got called a hater, too, just so you know.
Yes, he did.
His tweet from...
He knows a lot more than me.
From March 3rd says, took a break from draft prep to dive into hashtag Malik Willis tape over the last couple of years, being that he's one of the hottest names as we head into free agency. My conclusion is that there is really 28 dropbacks. He said he took out screens, quick pick and stick throws at 5 yards, and quick scrambles over the last 2 years that would determine his future. That is crazy to think of if we're talking about 25 to 30 million a year. Hashtag study ball coming so you can come up with your own opinions and assessments. Somebody tweeted at him, let's stop the hating. He deserves whatever comes his way. Pay that man. Damn. He said, ha, this is Kurt Warner response, and we'll move forward. Analyzing is not hating. When will people realize that? It's exactly what GMs are doing, so wanted to share with all of you. I hope the young man gets paid and has a shot as well. End quote.
Correct. He throws a lot of screens. He runs a lot of option. He runs a lot of RPOs. If you feel like you can build an offense around that with solid protection, great. Malik Willis may work. I don't think it's the best investment for someone to make to pay him upwards of $30 million a year. I think this deal would actually make a lot of sense. 2 for $44, already some weapons in place with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. in Arizona. Mm-hmm. Offensive line is still going to be a concern.
Young offensive line.
It's his sack to pressure ratio, which really concerns me. When he's pressured, he goes down. Yeah, he does. He does not perform well against pressure, and he had a really good offensive line in Green Bay.
And he going to the NFC West. Okay.
Best of luck, brother. Yeah. One other Titans mention within this piece is on Wan'Dale Robinson. At the end of the article, Dan Graziano says, a sneaky, buzzy name over the past few days. Wan'Dale Robinson had 280 targets and 185 catches over the past 2 seasons with the Giants. Former Giants coach Brian Daboll is the new OC in Tennessee, where the Titans need reliable dudes for Cam Ward to target. Titans are not linked to a center at all in these contract projections from ESPN insider Dan Graziano.
So it's two folds, I guess. Is it bad luck for the Titans or better strategy if they don't get a center?
Well, they have
to. You know what I'm saying?
They have to get a center.
I'm with you.
They don't have any on the roster right now.
The draft is always a conversation of and he's already behind the 8 ball if you draft a starting center.
I will be very surprised if the Titans starting center is a rookie in 2026.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
It's just interesting. And here's the thing. Graziano's paid to put that out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
I also think it's difficult from national people and stuff like this when the Titans are involved. They so quickly slant towards the national brands in linking good players to good teams. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get a mention here unless there really is a connection at times. So Tyler Linderbaum projected to get 4 years, 90 with 60 guaranteed from the Chicago Bears in Dan Graziano's piece.
Yeah.
And the other center in here, I believe Connor McGovern is... I don't even think McGovern is in here. No, McGovern isn't even mentioned. So there's only one center on the list. So, of course, the Titans aren't linked to it.
So is he going back to Buffalo's with them?
No, I just think he's putting the top free agents in there, and I guess he doesn't consider McGovern a top free agent.
Are you going to get... That's wild.
I think Connor McGovern's a top free agent based on his... the opportunity cost of what else you could get at center.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, he's probably one of the top 30 to 40 best players available right now.
Absolutely.
But this article only mentions like 15 names.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. I get that.
Yep. Brandon Aubrey is mentioned in here. Cowboys kicker.
Is he?
Worked with One Bones Fossil when he was in Dallas.
That's the way I
Titans
think we're going to have
need a
to
kicker
look
and
at
a punter.
this offseason. It's like, how many other pieces are they filling in? Not just the big name, because the big name's always going to carry the headlines.
It's true. A lot to fill out. Coming up, I am looking forward to the return of our speed scouting segment. I have 6 names for Ramon Foster and Justin Hawkins. 4 of them are current NFL edge rushers. 2 of them are draft prospects. I give you all the scouting report from NFL.com on these players. You guess who they are after this.
Genesis Diamonds has quickly become one of the largest dealers of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America, and they're having a huge Rolex event. It is this Friday and Saturday, and if you've always wanted a Rolex or you are looking to add to your collection, you can't miss this epic 2-day sale. It's starting today. It's featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches: Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans. Genesis has all the most popular models in pristine condition. Some models still in the box, never even worn before. But during this event, you can take advantage of special financing, which is up to 5 years. And with the price of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free. And if you already own a Rolex, bring it in to sell or trade and get top dollar for it. Don't miss this chance to get the luxury timepiece you've always wanted and get a free pair of lab-grown diamond stud earrings as well. It's this Friday, which is today, and Saturday only. Now, only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs, but of course, see stores for details while supplies last and on approved credit.
Ramon Will, Hour 3 continues. Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. 615-737-1045. So, we did this segment last year, and it was received well in our YouTube comments, on Twitter, people we've talked to, and so we're bringing it back. We have a name for it this year. It feels a little bit like speed dating sometimes, the NFL draft. You go into combine convention halls, you talk with a prospect for 15 minutes, there comes another one, here comes another one, here comes another one. You put them on the whiteboard, here comes another one. You talk about what they like, where they're from, what their mom's name is. Here comes another player. So we're calling this speed scouting. What I have done is I have gone to NFL.com and Lance Zerline and the entire crew at NFL.com who do excellent little thumbnails of prospects. They've been doing this for a long time. And I have compiled 6 blind resumes of players. So I'm not going to give you 40 times. I'm not going to give you pro day times because that'd be a dead giveaway because pro days haven't happened for many of these players. Maybe we do that later as we go once pro days start happening. But what I will give you is a height and weight and what NFL.com's write-up says about the player. Now, the challenge for you is to not only tell me if this is a prospect or a vet, but to tell me who the prospect is or who the vet is.
Okay.
So, do y'all want to, we can keep score on this? You two can play against each other on this over the season. I will be your moderator.
Okay.
Do we accept these terms?
I accept.
Do you have any follow-up questions?
You have to ask me. I accept.
Okay. All right. No looking up anything. Close the F and Bank chat. I don't want you getting any hints. Nothing.
I'm here for it.
Hawks, long. Let's see what.
F and Bank
You have
chat
to lock
is
them out. You just got to close
now.
it. Okay.
It's all competition. Like, I respect it. I ain't even like, I respect what Hawk got going on. He's in it to win it, and I'm here to tell you he gonna lose today.
All right, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna get my notes page out where I have listed who these players are. You get 1 point for telling me if it is a prospect or a vet. You get 2 points for telling me who the player is correctly. Here we go. Player number 1 is 6'4", 251 pounds. NFL.com write-up says, he is extremely hard for... All right, by the way, real quick, I forgot to say this part. These are players drafted in the first 2 rounds of the last 5 drafts.
Okay.
That's your criteria. We're not going way back. We're not black and white TV. We're the last 5 drafts drafted in the first 2 rounds. Here we go. 6'4", 251 pounds. He is extremely hard for linemen to stay in front of. He moves like a slashing 2-guard, blending explosiveness and fluidity to slip, bend, and flow around blocks from multiple angles. His leverage and lower body flexion create game-over scenarios once he reaches pocket depth with even a minor lead. He can be stalled when a blocker latches his hands in deep, but his elusiveness and suddenness make clean clamps a relative rarity. He's instinctive with natural mid-rush counters, but he must continue developing hand usage and crafting rush plans for when protection shifts his way. Teams can run at him due to his lack of anchor and take-on presence, but has workaround quickness will also lead to tackles for loss. His draft grade is slightly tempered by a lack of desired size/length, but the explosiveness and athletic talent is truly elite. His sack production should carry over to the NFL as an odd front rush linebacker with Pro Bowl upside. That is player number 1. I'll ask you to guess who they are at the very end once I give you all the names. How confident do you feel about knowing who that is?
I like that one.
I feel like I like that one for sure.
Okay.
I'm not overly confident because the height is, I don't know, questionable.
Okay.
I think I know.
That's player number 1. Player number 2. And if you open our Google Doc of all of our notes, you need to reread any of this. It's all in there.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so you didn't put the names in there. I didn't even
Correct.
look that
I just
far
put
forward.
player
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Player number 2. 6'3", 248 pounds. Undersized edge defender who plays in a slant-based scheme that makes evaluating his 3-down value more difficult. Evaluating the pass rush talent, on the other hand, is quite easy. He's a wildly athletic rusher who blends get-off, stride length, and flexibility into one alarming package for tackles trying to slow him down. Rush counters come instinctively, and his ability to seamlessly transition his attack from outside to inside makes him a projectable rusher against athletic tackles as a pro. Teams will want him to get bigger, stronger, and more assertive against the run as a 3-4 outside linebacker, or he could be relegated to DPR, designated pass rusher status. That is player number 2.
Okay.
Thoughts?
That one's a little tougher.
Okay.
I think.
I will allow you to pull up. There's a website that has NFL draft history of all the players drafted at each position. So if you just look up NFL draft edge rushers, draft history. So that way you have a list of who's been drafted in the last 5 drafts, top 2 rounds. I will give you that. Okay. You guys are thinking a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going if you don't have any big takeaways.
Keep rolling.
All right. Player 3 is 6'3", 246 pounds. Performance grade inside/outside linebacker prospect possessing an NFL-ready frame and explosive speed that could make him a highly productive talent at the next level. He's more impactful when he's kept clean and allowed to run and chase the action, but carries no physical limitations into the pros. His instincts and play recognition need to catch up with the physical gifts in order to play downhill and find the most efficient routes to the football. His rush talent is a potential wild card in how teams decide to use him, but he's likely to show rapid improvement and should be a day 1 starter. That is player number 3. These are NFL.com scouting reports of edge rushers. 2 of them are draft prospects, 4 of them current NFL.
What was the height on that one? 6'3"?
6'3", 246. Or excuse me, 3 of them are current draft prospects. 3 of them are vets. My apologies. Okay. Okay. That's player 3. Player number 4. 6'2", 263 pounds. Note taker, grudge holder, and block destructor. I like that. With a compact frame and defensive tackle play strength. He is ill-tempered with his take-ons, hitting blockers with heavy hand strikes. He plays through tight ends and can anchor against tackles and double teams. However, his lack of length can lead him being smothered if he doesn't land the first strike. He can bend and flip his hips at the top of the rush, swipe away punches, and generate a strong bull rush. He showed an ability to generate quick wins if tackles are passive and setting to him. He can rush off the edge or mismatch guards as a sub-package rusher. His explosive power and toughness should translate, giving him a high floor as an NFL starter. Player number 4.
I think I got that one quickly.
Feel good on that one?
Yeah, I do.
Justin?
I like that one. I'm still on number 2.
Okay, well, we're going to move on to number 5.
Yeah.
Player number 5 is 6'4", 241. At 20 years old, he is still growing into his frame and his game. A poet, and I didn't know it. It didn't say that. I said that. He plays off-ball linebacker and stand-up edge with the talent to post impact production from either spot. His third down versatility adds alignment variety and helps camouflage defensive intent. And they got to have a thesaurus sitting there next to him as they do this. His run diagnosis and angles of attack are average, but he flows quickly once he triggers, using assertive hands to stack and play off blocks. He's fast in pursuit, and his tackle finishing could become elite. His rush is kinetic. Again, it's a good one. And tough for tackles to mirror. It's under construction, but he has already sprouted go-to moves and rush plans that need more refinement. He might need some runway to hit his stride, but his rare blend of traits, explosiveness, and versatility could become a perfect storm of chaos once a defense decides how to deploy him. That is player 5.
I'm stuck.
What are you stuck on?
On the who on that one.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're very similar.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
All right, you ready for the last one?
Yeah.
Here we go. 6'5", 254 pounds. Ascending edge prospect. He has NFL traits and the potential to keep getting bigger and better as a pro. He is a 1-year full-time starter with an underdeveloped pass rush and occasional lapses in awareness, but both areas should be correctable with more coaching and game experience. He's more instinctive and consistent as a run defender, but his length and relentlessness are excellent building blocks for challenging protection. His blend of strength and athleticism should make him a firm edge setter and playmaker near the line of scrimmage for odd or even fronts. He has the traits, athleticism, and talent to project as a top 40 pick with a bright future.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm probably so wrong.
6 edge rushers, 3 of them current NFL draft prospects, 3 of them are current NFL edge rushers. Okay. So, I want you to lock in who you think who is.
I think I got them all.
Pencils down? We good?
Pencils down.
Pencils down.
All right. So, player 1 was 6'4", 251, hard for linemen to stay in front of, moves like a slashing two-guard, instinctive with mid-rush counters, has to continue developing hand usage and crafting rush plans when protection shifts his way. Ramon Foster, who is player number 1?
Josh Hines Allen.
Justin, who is player number 1?
David Bailey.
2-0, Justin. David Bailey is player number 1.
What?
That is David Bailey. 6'4", 251, hard for linemen to stay in front of. He moves like a slashing two-guard.
It was the run part for me.
It says teams can run at him due to his lack of anchor and take-on presence, but his workaround quickness will also lead for tackles for loss.
Missed it.
I want to go look now at Josh Hines Allen, how he compares, because that is a pretty good comp. I do like that.
I missed that one. Wow. That's a good one right there, Hawk.
Josh Hines Allen.
I also don't. That wasn't in the last 5 years, was it?
No, it wasn't. That's the other thing.
I thought it
That's
was
why
younger.
I said
You did.
pull up the list.
I heard you say that.
That will help.
Yeah.
Josh Hines Allen was 6'5", 262, a little bit bigger of a prospect coming out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. I like it.
So that's number 1. 2 points to Justin, 2-0 Justin on edge rushers. Player number 2, 6'3", 248, undersized edge in a slant-based scheme, making his 3-down value more difficult. Rush counters come instinctively. Teams want him to get bigger and stronger and more assertive against the run as a 3-4 outside linebacker. Justin, who is player number 2?
Is that Arvell Reese?
Nope.
Ramon?
Height don't do it for you. Abdul Carter.
So you are both getting 0 points on player number 2.
Ooh.
So you get 1 point because you guessed it was a current NFL player.
Yeah.
So Ramon gets 1. 2-1, Justin. This is Nick Benito of the Denver Broncos. 34.5 sacks last 2 seasons. Nick Benito's comp, all right, let me say this. David Bailey's comp at NFL.com is Nick Benito.
Is it really?
From NFL.com writer that did his write-up. That's why I wanted to do those two back-to-back, to compare David Bailey at 6'4", 251 to Nick Benito at 6'3", 248. Some of the similar strengths and weaknesses there, although Bailey maybe has more high-end traits as a first-round talent versus Benito, who is a second-round talent.
So what you're telling me is you just got to have patience and let them grow as well?
A little bit.
If you're picking them.
I think maybe the comp more is David Bailey can turn into what Nick Benito is today versus he's going to be Nick Benito year 1 in the NFL. That's probably the distinction I would make there.
No doubt.
All right, so 2-1, Justin. Player number 3, 6'3", 246, performance grade inside/outside linebacker prospect, NFL-ready frame and explosive speed that could make him a highly productive talent at the next level. Is this a current player or a draft prospect, Ramon?
Current.
Justin?
Current.
Who is it, Ramon?
Michael Parsons.
Yes.
Inside, outside.
You're both receiving 2 points.
Hey!
Micah Parsons is player number 3.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about, Hawk. He's still just 1 point ahead of me, correct?
Yes, 3-2.
Yep.
Justin leads.
Enjoyed the rear view.
For obvious reasons, based on a prospect that is still on the board, I wanted to put Micah Parsons in here compared to Arvell Reese, who we'll get to. But you've already locked in your answer, so you can't change now. Oh, can't change now. 6'3", 246 for Arvell Reese. All right, player 4 is the easiest one. 6'2", 263, ill-tempered with his take-ons, hitting blockers with heavy hand strikes. His lack of length can lead to him being smothered if he doesn't land his first strike. Showed an ability to generate quick wins if tackles are passive and setting to him. On the count of 3, I want you to both tell me who this is. 1, 2, 3.
Reuben Bain.
Correct.
Did
You had that, right?
Yes, I was going to make a joke. And then, yeah.
Out to
No, I
say.
had it.
I had to put him in there. The whole point of this is not for me to trick you guys. That's part of the point.
Yeah.
But the main goal is for us to learn the draft prospects.
Yeah.
And I tried hard to find a comp for Reuben Bain Jr. There has not been a draft pick in the first round that really is a lot like Reuben Bain Jr. in the last 5 years.
I brought this up. I wanted 3HL to ask this yesterday to Greg Cosell.
Mm-hmm.
If the Titans don't take Bain at 4, does he slide? And that to me is I I don't know if that's a red flag or is he just very specific to the team that he has to go to? And why the Titans?
I don't think he gets outside of the top 10.
I don't know. He might.
He might.
I'm curious how many teams will have strong convictions about him in either way. Because it only takes one for him to avoid totally falling. But if one of those teams is picking at like 12 or 13, and it's like a non-starter for other teams in the top 10, then yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Do we call him a tweener? The more information we get and the more you look at what's available?
I think we've always known he's a tweener. What I don't want to do is double knock him. We already knew he had short arms.
That's true.
The combine thing doesn't matter a whole lot to me. It just kind of confirms what we already knew. Mm-hmm. What the film says is that he overcomes his lack of arm length routinely against good tackles. But yeah, no, I think it's on the table for him for sure.
Okay.
Let's go to player 5. 6'4", 241, still growing into his frame, plays off-ball linebacker and stand-up edge with the talent to post impact production from either spot. Prospect or vet?
Prospect.
So if I've already answered,
You've already locked it in.
and I think
It's what you guessed before we started.
Yep. Yeah, you did.
That's why we lock it in then.
Who's your 4? Is it is a current player?
No, it's a prospect. But
Who do you have as number 5?
Zion Young.
Okay. Ramon?
I went off the wall. Cassius Howell. It's Arvell Reese.
This is Arvell Reese.
Yeah. As soon as I
Arvell Reese.
answered the first time, I was like, oh no.
This is like Jeopardy. I know it after the fact.
That is Arvell Reese, 6'4", 241 at 20, still going into his frame. Fast in pursuit, his tackle finishing could become elite. His rush is kinetic and tough for tackles to mirror. Under construction, but he's already sprouted go-to moves and rush plans that need more refinement.
You threw me off when you said second round as well.
Yeah.
I know it makes you think.
You did.
That's the goal.
It makes you think.
Player 6 is 6'5", 254, ascending edge prospect, NFL traits, the potential to keep getting bigger and better as a pro. 1 year full-time starter with an underdeveloped pass rush. Ramon, is this a prospect or a vet?
Prospect.
This is a vet.
Ramon, who is it?
Keldrick Falk.
Justin?
I think it's new Titan Jermaine Johnson.
Bang! 2 points for Justin. That is Jermaine Johnson.
He ain't even come across my radar.
That is Jermaine Johnson. Justin takes a 3-point lead into whatever position we do next week.
Okay. All right.
Bingo.
Keldrick Falk is in the 270s. He's bigger.
Is he 270?
He's a bigger guy.
Okay.
That actually would have been my way to confuse you on Bane, is I could have put Keldrick Falk in there.
Not with the height.
Well, yeah.
6'5".
Yeah.
That's what got me was the 6'5", and I'm just thinking, okay, yeah.
Keldrick Falk weighed in and measured 6'6", 276.
He's 6'6"?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a real big dude.
Okay.
So anyway, I wanted to throw Jermaine Johnson in there for obvious reasons.
Good one.
Solid.
Real good. Real good.
Justin gets 8 points. Ramon gets 5. Going into round 2.
Let's go.
615-737-1045, our number. Diana Rossini with an A.J. Brown update that we give you after this. What's up? It's Will Bowling telling you about my friends at Brentwood Hearing Center. Their doctors of audiology are always committed to providing patients with the most recent hearing device technology. We love to have these conversations about our hearing health, about putting off our hearing health, right? Maybe you have been the person that your family members are coming to you saying, look, you got to finally address your hearing problems. It's gone on long enough. Or maybe I'm describing a family member that you are specifically thinking about. Maybe it's a coworker. You work in a noisy work environment and it's hard to hear conversation over all the background noise going on. Well, I'm here to tell you that Brentwood Hearing Center can help with that. You don't need just the factory settings. When you get these devices out of the box, you need a doctor of audiology to cater that device to you. Brentwood Hearing Center will sit down with you. They'll understand where you're having the most trouble hearing, and they will diagnose you with a specific hearing solution that works for your needs. It is a game changer. 615-377-0420 is their number. You can visit them online as well at BrentwoodHearingCenter.com. That's 615-377-0420. Brentwood Hearing Center. Better hearing, better life. Ramon Will wrapping up hour number 3. This is a song A.J. Brown should hum on the sideline when he's not getting the football. Don't worry, A.J., just be happy.
Be happy.
Got a Super Bowl
along
ring.
the lines of Ramon, just don't worry, be happy.
There's always a theme behind music Justin plays.
Who won Thursday 3 this year, Hawk?
I understand.
Diana Rossini reporting this morning that the Philadelphia Eagles are holding firm on their steep asking price for A.J. Brown. While the New England Patriots have poked around on it, the Los Angeles Chargers are another team keeping tabs on the situation, she says, per sources. Adding the Rams discussed trading for A.J. Brown, but have moved on. There you go.
Yeah.
Rams already used their second first-round pick on Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, they're good to go on that one. And of course, still in with AJ in L.A. He'll probably end up being a model citizen as I say that. But I think the Eagles are right for taking such a strong stance on what they're willing to give up for what they know is a bona fide playmaker. For as much crap that Howie Roseman gets publicly, you can't be mad at his ways of operating. He finds talent. They draft good talent. They somehow finesse teams out of their talent, and they maximize it. I'm not sure if it's their culture, their system, or just the mystique that Philly players are good. And the other part as well is they've won. He wants you to want their guys, and it's crazy how he goes about setting that up. It would shock me if Jordan Davis or somebody came up and teams are willing to give up a first-round draft pick for him as well. They've done this job as far as getting talent very good.
I think it's interesting because Philadelphia is in a position of strength here where they don't have to move on from A.J. Brown.
How much of A.J. Brown do you want to deal with on a day-to-day basis?
Right.
Though?
What's it worth to you?
Yeah.
That's the question. I mean, in the way that DJ Moore was kind of a surplus in Chicago once Colston Loveland came in and Luther Burden came in, you didn't really need his services as much. You would have, you would have put up with it had you hadn't had Luther Burden, and I don't think DJ Moore had major off-field concerns as much as it was just didn't really need him. I say the Eagles still kind of need AJ. They just don't really want to deal with AJ. Is what the vibe seems to be.
I'm with you. I do think they need AJ because AJ's a threat. When you look at how Philly wins football games, especially with Saquon, do they need AJ? I think the possession of AJ means more to them than actually needing him, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, they've got to get that offensive line back up to their standards without Jeff Stoutland coaching it this upcoming season, which is a major problem, I think, for them.
And what are they as a passing team? That's the other side about having AJ.
A mediocre one.
Exactly.
So how much worse can you become if you try to do, what the Titans did? Replace AJ Brown with a rookie.
They are a very careful passing team.
Yes.
Which means just Jalen Hurts isn't going to just air the ball out all the time where you see Josh Allen dropping bombs or
They're
Justin
not throwing
Herbert.
To win.
It's not.
They're running to win.
It's not even Dallas, right? They are a careful, methodical offense. And that's where if you're A.J. Brown, it doesn't suit you. But, A.J., you signed your rights away to the Philadelphia Eagles. They can do with you as they please at this point. And I think, to your point, Will, they're in a luxury spot. They don't have to move on from him at all. Okay, you complain and want to sit, so we'll just fine you and get back money.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, interesting situation. I'm interested to see how that plays out.
No doubt. I know we're not having a conversation about bringing AJ back, but
no.
There's going to be a scenario where a team will get desperate, though. I mean, if the Chargers are, keeping an eye out on them, I do think they have to start answering that question as well. They, to me, are a ground and pound team that needs a real threat outside as well. So I get why they would want to be interested in them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But again, you give Philly another first round draft pick. It's like you're doing a deal with the devil almost.
I still wonder if Cleveland gets in the mix for AJ Brown. They got 2 firsts.
Meaning that's where they'll send a guy that they say, well, you won't do better than us.
Well, and they have 2 firsts. They can afford to take more of that gamble. They have Jacksonville's first round pick.
Sure do. Yeah, that's last year didn't seem right, but it could work for him now.
If you don't like a player and the way he's treated your organization, just trade him to the Browns. That'll show him.
That'll show him.
That sets quite an example. Hey, I'm going to listen to what Howie Roseman says. He might trade him to Cleveland
or the Jets.
Ooh.
That's the other side.
They need their draft picks, though.
You've brought this up numerous times. Like, I'm not going to send you to a prettier team. That's just not going to happen.
Wait, you think Howie Roseman is sending A.J. Brown to an NFC contender?
No.
Okay, if I'm Howie, the price for the Rams is steeper than the price for anyone much more than the Patriots.
Way steeper.
I got to see the Rams to get to a Super Bowl.
I even thought about Carolina, but that's an NFC team.
NFC.
And they're
I'm not trading within the conference.
I guess.
Yeah, no shot.
They're bubbling.
Coming up, a linebacker the Titans have been linked to is available now. Interesting from the NFC, a player that I think the Titans may have interest in. You can start that interest immediately because he got released yesterday. We'll tell you who and how much interest the Titans could potentially have in him coming up next. Hey, it's Will Bowling. For over 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Brentwood community with exceptional style and exceptional deals every day. Hey, going to get an engagement ring can be a challenging and stressful process. Brentwood Jewelry is here to help you pop the question. They help me pop the question. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They'll help talk you through a beautiful ring in your ideal budget. You can browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings, or you can talk with their custom design specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. If you're thinking about getting engaged, Brentwood Jewelry, they can propose some rules of engagement as well. Ask your partner how involved they want to be. Do they want to come look at the rings of the process? Discuss the expectations. Brentwood Jewelry is going to make things easy for you in a process that is a big decision. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. You can check them out online at brentwoodjewelry.com. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for over 50 years online at brentwoodjewelry.com. Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? Well, it's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto get into the equity of your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Will Bowling. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days, and they had $160,000, just like that. They kept their 3% mortgage intact and didn't even need an appraisal. With all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too at loanpronto.com. Their rapid equity loan program can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it, consolidated all their high interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Just imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier, get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows, so call Loan Pronto at 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
9:02, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. A couple signings in the NFL this morning per Ian Rappaport. The Los Angeles Chargers making a splash before free agency hits next week, agreeing to terms with center Tyler Biadasz on a 3-year deal worth $30 million. Biadasz was released by the Commanders last week and now will get a raise in L.A. Speaking of L.A., the Rams and star safety Cam Curl agreed to terms this morning on a 3-year deal worth a maximum value of $36 million, which would double his previous salary. Yesterday in Buffalo, the Bills made a big trade with the Bears trading for wide receiver DJ Moore and a 2026 fifth-round draft pick in exchange for a 2026 second-round pick. And the Titans signed 2 exclusive rights free agents yesterday in guard Garrett Dellinger and defensive lineman C.J. Ravenel. The Nashville Predators, they made their 4th trade in 3 days last night as they are sending forward Michael Bunting to the Dallas Stars in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. Coming up today, the NHL trade deadline hits at 2 p.m. Central Time. And last night, the Preds beat the Bruins 6-3 at Bridgestone Arena. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the 4th and final hour this morning on Ramon and Will. Welcome in. Glad you are with us for 60 more minutes here on 104.5 The Zone. 615-737-1045. How you join us? He is the 11-year NFL vet and Vol Network analyst, Ramon Foster.
Yay.
Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. Ron Slay stopping by in 15 minutes.
On the way.
We'll preview Tennessee and Vanderbilt with him and get his perspective on what in the world is happening with Kim Caldwell and the Lady Vols.
I didn't wait to hear it. He went off, I think, a couple of days ago. We talked about it yesterday before he went on air as well, and he's passionate about his Vols, man.
Problematic, as he should be.
Yeah, man. So
absolutely.
We'll get the basketball experts' take on it as he heads to Music Circle.
Love it.
Yeah, I think he's heading to Music Circle.
Okay. Well,
he's so busy.
We'll find out in
days.
15 minutes.
He almost went off on me yesterday as well. So I did a little day date with my boo thing. You feel me? Like we went somewhere and had lunch together. We do those day dates for you couples, if you can go to a lunch date, that's the move. Less crowds, always got time, and then you can go home and chill for the rest of the night.
Sure.
He texted me and said, hey, you got about a couple more minutes before I start bothering you because you owe me a phone call.
Oh.
And I had to let him know, my bad. Hey, when Brick Bro speak, I was listening is all I'm telling you, man. He threatened me and I called him.
Well, we'll get to that coming up here in 15 minutes.
We will, no doubt.
The Chicago Bears are releasing linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, creating $15 million in cap space for the Bears ahead of free agency. The 27-year-old Edmonds at inside linebacker was set to enter the final season of a 4-year, $72 million contract he signed as a free agent in 2023. His contract carries a $13.9 million base salary for 2026 and a $1 million roster bonus on the 5th day of the league year. He will not get that anymore. The way I understand this is that he is released. This was not on the first day of the league year. He's available now. And that is a player that Titans had reported interest in last week in Indianapolis.
He just gives you an option, more flexibility when it comes down to what you plan to do in the draft. Like I said, we've all mentioned the linebackers or edge players that you can go get. Tremaine is as you said, 27-year-old guy. He's got mileage on him, but he can play. Now, the other part that you have to fall into is always going to be who wants who. Does he also want you? And if he does, like with Tremaine's situation, Edmonds, like, is he going to be a bag chaser as well? Because players understand where they are in their careers. If there's not a real suitable contender that you're looking for, the bag is what's next. Now, can he also be a Robert Saleh style of go-getter? Yes.
That too.
But what are you willing to give up to set up the rest of this team? Because you brought up, dog, all the other positions, Will, that have to be filled.
Yes.
I think we got to be more conscious about that.
Right.
No, I was just going to say, especially if you're looking at quality.
Backup quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a right guard, a center, a swing tackle,
Corner.
3 corners, at least 2 defensive linemen, an off-ball linebacker, a safety, and probably 2 edge rushers.
Are they all
That's
out
it.
there? That's a whole team.
That's a draft class. That's free agent class. That's guys that are already on the practice squad who may step up into new roles. I mean, there's a lot of options, a lot of ways to do it, but you got a lot of holes to fill.
No doubt. I just didn't want to make it seem like, oh yes, this player's available, you get him. Like, no, there's a lot of other moving parts that have to be filled for this team, and you just see where you are, and also it reflects where you are as far as the record last year. It was a 4-13. That shows why. You're steadily replacing guys, and that's why I think it needs to be a careful free agency. Not because you got the most money. If the Titans come out of this thing and they don't spend all of the $100 million or whatever, I don't think it's a bad thing.
You're giving them an extra game too. They were 3-14. Oh, 2 years in a row, 3-14.
That's correct.
I mean, they're one Imari DiMercato fumble through the back of the end zone away from having the number 1 overall pick right now, and we're having trade offer discussions,
brother,
for a second straight year. Crazy the way the ball bounces.
Crazy how
I'd rather win the game, but yeah, no. Crazy when you look at it after the fact, the way all that shakes out. Robert Saleh, years ago, this was January 7th, 2022, as the head coach of the New York Jets, as they prepared to take on the Buffalo Bills, called Tremaine Edmunds a unicorn. This was Robert Saleh 4 years ago, talking about now free agent linebacker Tremaine Edmunds.
So, it's interesting, like Avatar, that's Tremaine. He's like a unicorn in the linebacker world. I mean, the guy's 6'5". He's got ridiculous length, speed, range, knockback. He's got all of it. There isn't anything he doesn't have. So he is special in every sense of the imagination. The amount of space he takes away just by his mere presence in the middle of the field is unlike anything that's been seen in a very long time. I think Urlacher and would probably be one of those guys.
Robert Saleh, January 7th, 2022 on Tremaine Edmunds.
That's Tremaine. Like, you see him on the field, he doesn't like he's supposed to be playing that position. I've actually met his mom and his dad because his brother Terrell played in Pittsburgh, and his dad is like 6'5". If I'm not mistaken, he was a first rounder as well, a 4th rounder. But his family is very talented, as there's 2 first rounders, and their brother Trey was an undrafted free agent. But athleticism, understanding the game, knowing how to play ball, he's there. How is not working out for him? I'm not sure if it's money or they see a decline. But either way, he's still in a position to make plays for his team, man. You want him if you can have him, is what I would say.
Bears seem to be making moves to open up space for Tyler Linderbaum and or Max Crosby.
Yeah. They have to.
Because Drew Dahlman's out. So, I mean, they are seen as the projected favorite to sign Ravens center Tyler Linderbaum.
How much more of Conor McGovern's price go up, though? I'm fascinated with this move.
It's going to. Yeah.
The Bears are going. Sure. They have to be aggressive.
They do. They're in a window.
And when you mentioned that offense as well, like Tyler Linderbaum, as we mentioned yesterday or the other day, he gets outside of the pocket. That's Caleb. He can be a lead blocker. He can snap and go.
Great run blocker. Yeah.
Great.
And that's a run-first offense.
It is.
Yeah.
And it protects him as well. Yeah, no doubt. I get it.
Definitely.
But they're going to have another roster, cap gymnastics as well as Darnell is due.
Darnell right tackle. Yeah.
They'll always figure it out.
They will. And that's how they're figuring it out, is by getting rid of Tremaine Edmunds.
Jeez.
Interesting. I do think it's a fit for the Titans, and obviously that's 4 years ago that Robert Saleh said that about Tremaine Edmunds. Doesn't mean that he would feel that way now when he's 27. He's not a spring chicken anymore, but he's also not Bobby Wagner age. He can still probably offer you a substantial help at inside linebacker.
What's top end of linebackers? $15 million a year, I think, for inside linebackers, probably a year.
Allow me to check.
Yeah, just trying to think through how you balance this up. Because, again, he's a proven commodity. He's a Pro Bowler, if I'm not mistaken, Tremaine is at this point in his career. And he know how to play ball. So I'm for it if he's here. It's just he going to have options for the first time in his career. He's going to have options.
Roquan Smith leads the way at $20 million a year for inside linebackers. Fred Warner, 21. There you go.
Why did I have to be born in 1986? These are secondary positions.
Well,
Now,
milk costs more now too, so you got to
well, yeah, and gas as
with
well.
inflation.
God,
Yeah, top inside linebackers. Fred Warner at $21 million a year. Roquan Smith at $20 million a year. You've got Zach Bond at $17 million a year in Philly. Nick Bolton at $15 million a year in Kansas City. Patrick Queen at $13.6 in Pittsburgh. So yeah, it's about right. 15.
That's about right. About 15 or so.
I don't know if Tremaine Edmonds would get that, considering there was no trade market for him. Bears tried to trade him. Couldn't find a taker. Teams just said, well, the prerogative's on you to move him. So don't negotiate through the public and tell some reporter that you're trying to trade him. You're going to release him.
Yeah.
So they tried to create some kind of value and demand based off of teams thinking that there was a market for him. Mm-hmm. And then he just hits the open market. Now he can be available for no draft compensation. I mean, I was down to trade for him.
Yeah.
For the Titans. So with a pick swap to where you don't lose any draft picks, but you maybe move back it around. And now you can get him and keep all that draft compensation.
Well, it's being in that window with a rookie quarterback. And here's the thing. Statistically, it wasn't the greatest year for Caleb. I mean, I think it's just over 55% completion
For
percentage.
Caleb Williams, you mean, yeah.
But legitimately, you see where his potential growth is going, and you have to buy into it. You have to.
Coming up, Ron Slay, ESPN, SEC Network, and 3HL talks college hoops with us after this.
It's truck month at Two Rivers Ford, and that means 0 money down, 0% financing, and 0 payments for 90 days. But only at Two Rivers Ford do you get 0 surprises and 0 pressure. You see, Two Rivers Ford, they do things a little differently than most dealerships. For starters, they have a non-commissioned sales team, so their salespeople are paid whether you buy a truck or not. So you can go ahead and ask all the questions, take all the test drives, check out the F-150, the Super Duty, the Maverick, the Ranger. Truck month, I'm telling you, it's all about you. And at Two Rivers Ford, you'll find the real price online every single time. They don't add a bunch of accessories or add-ons that you don't know about until you get to the dealerships. They pride themselves on honesty and transparency like they have for over 4 decades. And by the way, Two Rivers Ford has one of the best inventories of Ford trucks in the Southeast. There's Ford Truck Month, and then there's Two Rivers Ford Truck Month. So get to the South's most trusted Ford dealer for the best prices of the year on the best-selling trucks in America. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Local, honest, and real. Two Rivers Ford. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
So something great just happened in the 104.5 The Zone studio as we come back on air.
Yeah.
Ron Slay walks in. He's talking to Bird, talking to Lucas, everybody else that's here. And he says, I will say. And then his music starts. And so now you all get the benefit of hearing what Ron Slay was about to tell us here before the music started. What's up? Welcome.
What's happening?
Good morning.
What's happening? And then I tried to tell him, well, just say it now. We got time. We don't have to turn the mics on.
Oh, yes, we do.
The red sign didn't have to come on. You could have told us off air. And he said, I'm going to say it on.
No, Jayhawk, when Jayhawk hit the music, that means it's time to roll. So, man, I was going to say, man, I got to give props to Hubs. Brett Hubbs said to Savage what was going on. And I looked through the drive. When I come through the parking lot, all cars are dusty and dirty. There's one truck out there that's immaculate. I'm telling you right now, it's immaculate. I mean, it's like I got a little cinnamon swirl right here from the little quick stack, little car. I'm going to give y'all a little hint. Down on Clarksville Highway, all the Metro waterworks and people, they're going to be mad at me, but I'm going to let the cat out the bag. Hey, dog. They got them cinnamon rolls down there with the extra icing down there at the Quicksat on Clarksville Highway all the way down there.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds awesome.
They're going to be pissed at
grab
me.
one on the way to Knoxville.
They're going to be pissed at me, Drake. I'm talking about there's so many Metro Waterworks trucks and Nashville electric vehicles out there. Everybody stop doing that and get coffee, cinnamon rolls, and sausage biscuits. All pork chops.
You're going to be the last one to get your trees trimmed the next time there's ice.
But I'm just saying, man, that mother cold-blooded. I was going to sit my cinnamon roll on top of his truck. That's how immaculate it looked.
I was
like,
hate
you know what?
I swear.
The birds doing it. They don't do nothing to them. I'm just saying. Sparrows out there beaking and pecking on my dog truck, and they don't even care. So
beaking and pecking.
Yeah,
What's crazy? I didn't think I was going to see this is what happened when we not connected. And it's his fault because he in and out of town, Will. That's what it is. I told the people, you put me on notice. You gave me a warning yesterday that if I didn't call you back within a certain amount of time, you was going to come looking for me.
There would be repercussions.
It was.
It was.
I was out here serious.
And when Big Bro summons me, I'm there.
Oh, man, you got to go and get there.
But you ain't have to come and dog me in the truck like this today.
No, it was nice. It's nice out there.
It's your guy that made it nice.
Yeah, shout out Chris Wood.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah.
It's your guy that made it nice.
Hey, forget that, though.
Okay.
Another thing. I was sitting in the barbershop, and I told him, I can't wait to get in there, dog. I cannot wait to get in there because
Why?
the conversation, you got me so, dog, you got me so in-depth, and I ain't never been in this draft like this. But what he brought to my attention yesterday, Sonny Styles.
Just text me.
He's a maniac. Sonny Styles is a maniac. I will get like the man fast, he rangy, like
he's a sure thing.
He reads. It's almost like wow. Like how did I not see this before? Well, granted, I don't really like watching Ohio State, even though they got so many draft prospects. I will be real. I'm a hater. And a lot of that comes from the college football playoff.
Their fans made me a hater the way they treated me in the States.
Yeah, they can give two, you know what I mean? But it is. But I will say he is dope. But I say all that to say, that last one that y'all said, Ruben Bain. Hey, man, I know it's no measurables. I know it's not out there. Babs was talking about it yesterday. It's low in the percentile and all that. I understand that. But what I say is, man, if you've been groomed, in a sense, by a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I heard you.
If you've been groomed by one, and like Jason Taylor is still at the point in his life and coaching where he's involved. This ain't me with the clipboard or me pointing out on film. I'm finna get out here and show you. Dude's a freak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Genetically, like, he can still get out there and show them, you know what I mean? Like Vrabel, how everybody is so enamored by Vrabel with the dummy pad and everything being it. But Taylor out there like that.
Yeah.
This is a Hall of Famer. So I'm just saying, you have the ability to be coached on a curve with your measurements and everything, your short arms, all that.
Yeah.
When it come down, and I'm a little bit biased. I'm a little bit biased to this because I know it is the undrafted tweener thing that kind of sits with me.
Football guy.
In a bad way. You know what I'm saying?
I feel where you coming
from. I'm like, dog, I've been knocked like that all my life. You know what I mean? So to know what it's saying on film and what's popping off of there, Like, because when I watched Sonny Styles, I went back and watched Reuben Baines, too. I'm like, dude, he playing against top-notch draft prospects. Like, they're supposed to be on the next level.
Yeah.
That ain't saying that he playing against a 7-year vet already, but the guys that his peers that he's lined up against, he's dominating.
Yeah, he is.
So, I say that to say, Dreeland, I got to sit there, but I will say, with Sonny Styles, I'm okay now.
You see it.
If they draft him.
You see the vision.
That man, he is, and you hit it right on the head. That's Shazier. The freakish athletic movements, the hips, even standing high like he does. It ain't like he's sitting low, you know what I mean? And that man almost, like he got so much more room to grow and develop.
Yeah.
Because of his stance and everything, but it's just so freakish. The turn on it is quick. It's wild.
He's a better version of who we just talked about, too, in Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
Who was the number 16 overall pick.
And his hips way better than Edmonds.
Way better.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially
Like
at this point in his career and life.
Yeah, I mean, you feel me? But,
You got an opportunity to grab that puppy and Sonny Styles
You got me on that.
and just train him.
Sell jerseys for the next 10 years.
You got me on that.
But to your point about Bain, so the only question, the only knock I guess we have to have about Bain is, and this is where it would be bothersome to the Titans fans, I feel like, and just watching this draft unfold, and I mentioned this earlier, if they don't get him at 4, how far does he slide?
Yep.
Because how valuable is him? Because if he's a top 5 pick, then the next team's supposed to be like, suckers, gotcha. Gotcha.
You know what's happening? I'll go out there and say he's not a franchise build a program around, but he is damn sure a piece.
He's a good piece for here.
For here. And a lot of time, that's where the draft ends up. Like, it may not be the best player at that spot, but it may be your best need that's going to get filled.
Drafting
from
a right tackle in Panay Sewell Panay Sewell is a very higher rated player, but you put him at right tackle.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It may not result in immediate wins and losses or wins, but it's a building block that you hope does eventually as you address other positions.
That's the only knock that I have on him. But Sonny is that's a guy you place right there and say, all right, you walk away. Whoever's handling him, y'all got him. I'm finna go over here and try to get the rest of this team together.
I like it.
I thought you would jump on Sonny Styles with the conversation of where his nickname came from.
You did that for me.
That's why I threw that in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm fighting. I'm fighting that too.
When Mama said that they named him after Sonny from The Godfather, I knew. I said, I got savage with this one.
I'm fighting that.
So the Titans offering Sonny Styles with the 5th overall pick is an offer you can't refuse.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, man. I ain't mad. I'm going to be real. I'm not mad.
Imagine him.
I'm not mad.
I'm going to paint a graphic shirt for you. Just because we do T-shirts around. Everybody want to sell a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Big Jeff, Cam, and Sonny on a Godfather T-shirt. Mock it up how you want to.
Yeah, that's it right there, boy.
We know who Sonny is. We know who the Godfather
That
is.
might be the only thing that could still get Slay to replace his Traylon Burks jersey.
I'm going to be real. I'm telling you right now, whichever one of them come in, you know what? No, I vowed not to buy any more jerseys.
Oh, okay, all right.
I did.
Second contract is when we buy jerseys.
Somebody would have to purchase it for me. I'm no longer doing
So if Jeffrey Simmons gets a new contract.
I've ran that. It's only one jersey. If they come back with a throwback Savage jersey, then I'm going to buy that. Other than
Throwback
that,
Savage?
yeah, I ain't. I'm done.
We know plenty of people that can make that happen.
I ain't done with it. They didn't got enough out of me, Titans.
All right.
Show me something.
I can't believe in March that we've gone this long without talking basketball.
I know, man, but it's y'all fault. I'm sitting there in the barbershop like, dude, and what is it? What y'all did the 6?
Yeah, speed scouting.
And I'm sitting there like, that last one, that's Alvaro Reese. That's
what we want.
You engaged.
Yeah, I'm like, well, y'all got me.
That's the goal.
I'm telling you,
That's what the league does.
It does it.
Just as soon as you think you're going to get March Madness.
I hate them. And I hate them. Goodell, I hate your product. I don't like you. I don't like nothing about the NFL. Because y'all keep on getting me back. I don't like it, Sam.
And this your hot season.
That's just it.
I love it.
This actually all we got.
This your hot season right here.
Y'all done took, man, Christmas and everything from us, man.
We did.
I mean,
we
talking in the spring, man.
Unless it's on a Tuesday, then y'all can have Christmas games.
I'm telling you, dog. Yes, Will. Please transition.
Let's talk Tennessee Vandy. We will talk about Kim Caldwell and the Lady Vols. I might just give you the floor in our last
I don't even know
segment.
if it's nothing to talk about.
I just want you to tell you too, just so you know, Hubs, as you're talking about my truck, he sends me a tarp, okay, that I can fully automatic as well.
Oh, wow.
He sends that
I didn't
to
know
me,
that was
and
possible.
I told him I can't handle this. I said, because Ron comes on and starts bragging about you. Then he starts talking about how shiny my truck is
Shiny
and
your
how
tarp is.
I deserve this. And said, now this. He said, Ramon, Ron and I only speak the truth.
That's true.
And that's the text message.
That's very true.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I just wanted to update
Tarp
you.
is awesome.
That's my guy.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't either.
Well, we could get a Boom Boom Room logo on the side of the tarp.
We know now.
We know now.
Yes, we do.
Tennessee and Vanderbilt tomorrow in Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center. How do you weigh the importance of this game, Slay, with managing Nate Amen? Because if he plays, do you throw him out there and say, go get him? You know, full minutes, no restrictions. That ankle is more the problem, more so than the knee, according to Rick Barnes. Do you think we see him tomorrow?
Oh, this is an interesting one. I would say one, you know, it's a rival. You know what I mean? So it's something at stake. It's senior day, something at stake in that regard too. It's the last time you're gonna be on that floor. You always want to go out with a win, just overall. I will say I honestly believe that they could beat Vanderbilt without Nate Amen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's the difference in the double bye and a single bye. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, what do you do? Does everybody understand what's at stake? And you gotta protect Nate Amen. Like we all understand that, man, he wanna go. So I think Hubs hit it on the head, like with Barnes leaving it up to the doctors, it's on them. If you tell me he can go, if he's 90%, 85% want to go, we going. It is what it is. Because I mean, things happen, and we don't know the extent of his injury either.
I didn't think that's that bad in the arena.
Yeah,
I thought he got trapped, but
Yeah.
I also saw him come back in the game, bouncing, moving. I think he's just
Saw
like,
that
it
too.
was a little iffy.
It was a little iffy.
He's a long athlete.
Yep.
I don't mean to jump in on
Yep.
you, but he's a
Yep.
long athlete and he's like thin.
Yep.
So it looks worse.
Yep.
I personally, man, go on do your thing.
And it depends. Like you know what you've done leading up to this point, getting stronger, the flexibility that
Right.
you worked on. So they understand it. You know what I mean? Like I think he could play through it, but I think it's more than just that ankle.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's anything to do with the knee, we shutting you down and we getting ready for the NCAA tournament or
SEC tournament.
Yeah,
Right.
I would definitely go SEC tournament, but it's a lot of days rest for well-conditioned athletes. 2 days feels like an eternity,
Bro.
2 days off, you itching to get back to doing anything.
No question.
So that right there enough. If you win tomorrow, then you know what you got Friday coming up. So to answer your question, it's all up to them, all up to the doctors.
Vandy survived at Ole Miss the other day. Just a drunk basketball game is the only way to describe what that was. What do you want to see tomorrow? Oh, what matchup intrigues you the most tomorrow with how Vandy is trying to get back to the best versions of themselves and how Tennessee really played well against a very inferior opponent in South Carolina on Tuesday night?
Yeah, I would say probably the Missouri game because you need a couple of things. You need Arkansas to beat Missouri. So if you were to drop one, you don't get dropped out of that double bye because Missouri automatically move up.
Sure.
I think I want to see what Auburn, if Auburn has any type of fight in them. Auburn versus Alabama. If like with Bruce coming out making his comments, Steven kind of up and down as far as is it a connection with the players? Can y'all lock in? Do y'all really deserve to be in the tournament? If the good thing about it is you get to show us in a rivalry game on the road. Like this right here to me would stamp it. You win this at Alabama and you go in and win Wednesday and compete Thursday. All right, I'll listen to y'all what y'all saying about getting in the NCAA tournament. Other than that, I wouldn't. Yeah, it ain't too much. Florida and Kentucky. I think you get to see. I think nobody can beat Florida right now, but I think we get to see what kind of fight Kentucky has.
Yeah,
because y'all got embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Tennessee got embarrassed last year at Florida. Got embarrassed this year at Florida.
Right.
But they didn't get an opportunity to get some get back. Last year when they got embarrassed, they came up there to Rocky Top and Tennessee bounced
without Zakai.
You know what I mean? They have the business. So we get to see what kind of bounce back Mark Pope got. But other than that, though, I think it's just going to be entertaining because people jockeying for position for the tournament, for the SEC seeding, and for some coaches' jobs.
That's fascinating.
Biggest thing.
The way Arkansas went off the other night, though, as well. Is this? I asked Rich yesterday when he came on with us. Is this Kyle doing his thing, or he finally hit an understanding of what his team is as well? Because Rich said too, like he's doing it differently than he did at Kentucky with more veteran dudes, and also is that the pathway?
Yeah, I think it's to me. It's a little bit of he learned from his mistakes, but he also had the guys willing to stay. Like Brazil had an opportunity to leave. Everybody had an opportunity to jump in the portal. But to be able to retain guys like DJ Wagner, who is a veteran guard who's been around, they know the ropes, and you bring a guy like Darius Acuff in under him, he gets to teach him. Like, that's dope. Billy Richmond, a veteran. Carter Knox is another one that had opportunity to leave. He's been hurt right now, but he's a guy that helped in this maturation of Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff Jr., Malik Ewing. I heard there's been plenty of people talking about him. Malik Ewing, Nick Pringle, Trevor Brazile, a lot of it hinges on what they're going to do in the front court.
And just real quick, too, as well, around college basketball, Michigan, Arizona, man, what a fall-off BYU has had, though.
Yeah, the injuries hurt them.
Houston still.
Duke is rolling.
Duke is rolling. North Carolina.
Solid.
See if they get Caleb Wilson back this weekend against Duke.
And Iowa State. I guess, too, got to be taken serious as well. Where's this is going to be an exciting March Madness, I'd expect.
No question. I think you got 8 to 9 teams that can go win a national championship.
Jeez.
And then you got...
Is that the biggest it's been?
In recent memory, I think, and then outside of those 7 to 8, you probably got 7 more if they get hot.
Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State. You got Arkansas. You even got Tennessee. You got Alabama. These teams, even with Texas Tech, without JT Toppin, who suffered an injury, they still been putting it together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got plenty of teams that can get hot. Kansas is another one that can get hot. And
have they fixed what you thought they had going on as far as Kansas? Yeah.
I think they come to grips with it. And it's almost like, okay, if he in, cool. If he ain't, all right, we going.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think they lean on more Melvin Council Jr., but Dunga's been playing great down low. So they've been able to go free flowing. You got guys, what's my Bryson Tiller? He stepped up.
The rapper or the singer?
Man, I want to ask his mama, man, did you name him after him? You know what I mean? Like, because it's crazy. Like, I've never heard of anybody outside of him.
Yeah.
Or is he from Louisville? What is it? So you got him stepping up, and then Bill Self's kind of figured out how to manage it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Funny thing with Peterson playing more, he hasn't been playing great as of late. So you don't know. And you never know when somebody's going to get hurt. Like JT Toppin going down, Saunders going down for BYU. Like, he was the guy. You know what I mean? AJ DeMonster, Wright, and all them guys are cold-blooded. But the guy that was the glue was Saunders. You know what I'm saying? Like, 4th, 5th-year guy that was been in the program the whole time. Like, you hate to see that happen to him. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. You really, really have a legit chance for 8 teams to go win a chip that you could bet on and wager on. And then outside of them, about 5 or 6 more that you'd be like, oh, man, I can see them winning it. You know what I mean? So at least going to the Final Four.
What adjustments does Vanderbilt need to make from their loss against Tennessee in order to pull off the upset against Tennessee?
I would say you got to have some front court players that step up and play consistently all the way through.
And not foul out.
Yeah, that's been the whole thing for them throughout the season. When they're good and dominating people, the front court's stepping up. And I also think you got to get back used to understanding that a guy like Frankie Collins, when y'all were pressuring guys, it was different because you had more depth at the guard spot. You don't necessarily have that on the defensive end of the floor. Chandler Bing, he had a good 3-4 game run, but it's kind of like, okay, now you're a freshman. We see it. You know what I'm saying? But Duke Miles, Tyler Tanner, that's a lot on their shoulders. Tyler Nickel, of course, but not known as a defensive guy. But when you talk about pressure, sticky hands, Duke Miles has been prone to pick up fouls. You know what I'm saying? Which now leans back on Tyler Tanner. You got to do more, kind of conserve more, because on offense, man, you see what he got to do. Like, he had to go and get it against Ole Miss. You know what I'm saying? To finish that game on the road. And Ole Miss isn't a great team. So you look at Tennessee, and that's why I say they could win without Nate Amen. If they apply pressure, make layups, don't turn the ball over, I mean, it's a recipe for winning.
And turnover percentage and turnovers is every Tennessee game, but especially Vandy. Like, the fact that Tennessee had less turnovers than Vandy did in Memorial Gym when those two teams played is legitimately shocking to me. And Tyler Tanner, who averages like Tennessee's single game record for steals. Jacoby Gillespie had 8 steals a couple weeks ago, set the single game record. Tyler Tanner averages like 6 or 7 steals a game. But he wasn't able to really get Jacoby within that, and Tennessee did a good job. It felt like Slay of just getting it inside. The guards were asked to do less and didn't turn it over as much because they're not trying to do too much. Seems to be a lot of the problem when Tennessee does have heavy turnover games.
I think both teams are starting to understand who they are.
Yes.
Which team can carry out who they are and be impactful in the game. You saw it in the South Carolina game for Tennessee.
For sure.
We have a dominant presence on the inside. Why would we go away? And you saw guys continue to go to him. And that was so good to see, because you could have easily been like, all right, this is going to be a blowout. Let me go get my points. Jacoby could have got 25 easy in the first half.
For sure.
Said, nope, I'm going to keep on diming it to the big fellas.
10 dunks for Felix.
Dude, hey, man.
Crazy.
And he, to give Felix credit, he has always played well down the stretch.
Yes, yes.
Last year, he played really well in March. So
I agree.
Hopefully, JP Estrella can have whatever he's having as well.
I like it.
Me too.
I like what JP mindset is.
I wonder if that was a game where things kind of clicked again.
You know what? I asked him in the post game. I was like,
I heard
dude,
that.
were you thinking like I was? Well, I started cheering when they was Peter Burns was interviewing him. It was like, Slay, why are you thanking God? I was like, dude, because this is all I'm asking. Be 6'11", 7 foot. You're missing layups. Try to dunk it.
2 hands.
Like, put your arm in the rim. And he was like, yeah, that was kind of my mindset. Dude, I ain't saying nothing else.
Well, and Tennessee now 3 straight years has had a guy that they sometimes get over-reliant on saving them. It was Dalton Connect, then it was Chaz Lanier, and now it's Nate Amen. And it's almost like it forced other guys who think they're role players to be assertive. Because JP Estrella doesn't have to be a role player.
No.
JP Estrella can be a guy. And just because Nate Amen is a guy doesn't mean we can't have 2 or 3 or 4 other guys try to be guys too within the context.
JP was becoming that guy before getting injured.
Right.
Similar to, I keep on saying they mirror Florida. Just not to that extent, because Florida's more consistent.
Right. Coming up with Ron Slay, what in the world is wrong with Tennessee Lady Vol basketball after this?
United Structural Systems isn't just another repair company. They're your local foundation and waterproofing experts, y'all. They live here. They work here. They understand exactly how Tennessee's soil, weather, and homes behave. Yes, your homes behave a certain type of way. They've been serving homeowners across Tennessee for over 30 years. More than 30,000 local homeowners have trusted USS. That experience means they've seen every type of problem our homes face. Every crack or leak also tells a story. And USS, they know what those signs mean. They pinpoint the problem at the source. Check. foundation settlement, basement water intrusion, crawl space moisture issues, and more. No guesswork, y'all. Just expert diagnosis from people who know Tennessee homes. Their repair solutions are engineered to stand to our local conditions, and they also have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Here's a cool thing as well. Transferable lifetime warranties from local service, long-term protections. You're not just getting repairs, you're getting a peace of mind. This is what I'm telling you all the time. So I'm telling you right now, book your free home inspection at USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. United Structural Systems, they're problem solvers, experienced and local. They are USS.
Ramon Will, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the show. Buck Rising has you covered up next. He is in the building. I feel like this is way too happy of a song to talk about Lady Vol basketball right now, Slay, because they've got issues.
Issues.
Rough, man. I think the most difficult part, Will and Savage, is we're seeing it. Like, with the fanatic eye, the fan eye, you're able to see everything play out and kind of, it's like, okay, that's not right there what we're watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, the press is not working. Do you got a counter to that press? Like, do we need to see a couple of buckets made in a row offensively, like with a set? And then let's go back to kind of, and this is what I always said at the beginning, and I said it when coming in, like, it's difficult for that style to work at this caliber, at this time of where the game is for 10 players. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like, if you play 3 minutes very, very hard, and then platoon sub 5 more to play very, very hard, then platoon sub again to, like, it's, okay, what if we got it going? You know what I'm saying? And what if, like, now I got to go and sit down again. Like, come on, y'all. Come on, let's go, y'all. Let's go, ladies. Okay, we're going back in. Come on, y'all. Let's try to get back to where that's cool, but
is this
gotta
almost
have a
like
counter.
Wishbone offenses for undersized high school teams?
You know what I'm saying?
Like, that works when you got less talent.
Yes.
We gonna run the wishbone.
Yes. So it's supposed to be chaotic for the opponent.
It's chaotic for Tennessee.
It's not supposed to be that way.
Exactly.
Like, that's not how it's supposed to go.
It's like you're taking a 5-star team and running the wishbone. That's a great way to describe it.
We don't have to run the wishbone.
Yeah. No, we can run I formation.
Yeah.
That's it.
We can get shotgun.
We can just go 3 wide. Like, we're good to go.
And then it's like, let's make an adjustment. Like, yesterday against Alabama, Spearman had the advantage. They gave her the ball down low. She took her time. They wasn't doubling. She scored. Like, let's go back to that. Maybe that'll settle things down.
Fits their talent.
And then, guess what? She's the biggest person on the court. Maybe they start doubling. She's a willing passer. Kick it out. Open threes compared to contested threes off the dribble. It's a little different.
And that creates long rebounds, which then again, your defense isn't back yet, and that's a layup.
And then that's the on court.
Yeah. You're right. The
off court things, like on the bench with my arms around each chair, kick back, like I'm watching the game. That ain't that. I don't think that's the body language we're looking for. I don't think that's the look of platoon sub. We got 5 more ready to go. And then maybe 2 seats spaced and somebody else sitting down there twirling a towel, like disengaged. Yeah, like it don't look good.
Does she survive Kim Caldwell?
I would say yes. I don't know how, but I'd say yes.
Based on just on the court, you would say yes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more going on than on the court.
All I'm saying is Lady Vol brand is a lot different than just Vol brand. They got their own voice.
Absolutely they do. So. Good to see you. Appreciate you.
No doubt, baby.
We'll do a SEC tournament week visit with Slay next week to cheer us back up.
Let's go, bro.
Tennessee Vandy, regular season ends tomorrow. You can get me a SEC Plus tonight for Tennessee LSU softball. 5 o'clock Central this evening, Ramon.
Y'all know how it is. Hey, call your people, man. Check on your folks, man. Have a random conversation with somebody. Buy somebody a drink or a cinnamon roll or a cup of coffee, man. At all times, man. ELE, and I do mean this, man. Everybody love everybody, man. We are more alike than they tell us we are different, man. But peace. See you on Monday.